Jana ni moshi, ardhi hakika kikoti. If you just agree with me, how many rivers or seas will we rescue, please? Ujana ni moshi, ardhi hakika kikoti. If you just agree with me, how many rivers or seas will we rescue, please? How many times will I tell you to stop? Oh, stop. How many times will I tell you to stop? Stop. I'm going green, me and my team follow a dream where my city thrives underneath neon lights. I'm going green, me and my team follow a dream where my people thrive. For green is life. That was I'm Going Green. Sun don't feel the same. Skin burns in the rain. Long gone are the days since you took less than you gave. Sun don't feel the same. Skin burns in the rain. Long gone are the days since you took less than you gave. I'm dismayed every tear you shed. Nyota wananga tazama anga sauti paza. Nyota wananga nipendeni tazama anga sauti paza. Nipendeni nipendeni, 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 nipendeni. Sun don't feel the same, skin burns in the rain. Long gone are the days since you took less than you gave. The sun don't feel the same, skin burns in the rain. Long gone are the days since you took less than you gave. Nipendeni, 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 nipendeni. Nipendeni, nipendeni. Sun don't feel the same, skin burns in the rain. Long gone are the days since you took less than you gave.
Give it up for Jaira as he joins us on stage.
Unaongeza madegrees, siko default settings. Najua nachoma kwa bidii, from complaints I'm getting. Makasha panda bay, that's the price you've got to pay. So do I say, Makasha panda bay, that's the price you've got to pay. So do I say, but don't ongeza my degrees, siko default settings. No. Choma kwa bidii, from complaints I'm getting. Makasha panda bay, that's the price you've got to pay. So do I say, Makasha panda bay, that's the price you've got to pay. So do I say, let's go. Waka, 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 washa, 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 waka, 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 washa. Waka, 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 washa. Waka, 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 washa. Moto. Waka, 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 washa. Washa, washa, waka, 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 washa. Moto. Ati waka, 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 washa. Washa, washa, waka, 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 washa. Moto. Ati unaongeza ma degrees, siko default setting.
Oh, najua nachoma kwa bidii,
from complaints I'm getting.
Oh, Makasha panda bay, that's the price you've got to pay.
So do I say, Makasha panda bay, that's the price you've got to pay.
So do I say, that's the waka, 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 washa, 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 waka, waka waka washa
moto.
Ati waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa
Moto.
Ati waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa
Moto.
Ati waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa moto
Waka moto. Kuna waka moto. Kuna waka moto.
waka moto
Kuna waka moto.
Kuna
Kuna waka moto.
waka moto
Kuna waka moto.
Kuna waka
Kuna waka
moto
moto.
Kuna waka moto bado unaongeza ma degrees
Siko default setting.
Najua nachoma kwa bidii
From complaints I'm getting.
Makasha panda bei
That's the price you've got to pay. So do I say. Makasha panda bay. That's the price you've got to pay. So do I say.
Waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa
Moto.
Ati waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa Ati waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa
Moto.
Ati waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa Ati waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa
Moto. Waka 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 washa 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 waka 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 washa.
moto
Thank you guys. Fully take action towards a better future for. Do from Pararo. Shenda do from Pararo. Nasai. So unaweza enda do from Pararo. Zai, si ndio? Tunajaribu kurudi back to the times when we used to go do from Pararo, si ndio? All right, sawa. How would it feel living in a clean city? Clean roads, clean homes, clean water in your big city. Ain't that a better soul in it? Ain't that a better home in it? Yeah, we used to go dipping in the muddy falls. Then when nobody even cared at all, innocent kids, we wasn't really scared to fall. Things change when home is suddenly a court. This is a call to charge you to be different. There is a time when you've got to use discernment. Countries are at war instead of rallying for change. The people are afraid, so they turn around and rage. And the system and trying to make it easier. Life's a game of power, either you lose or you a winner. Be careful how you handle it. They label you a sinner. Wanna be the change inside, or we end up in a garden singing. Do for Pararo. Do for Pararo. That's what they do for Pararo. Do for Pararo.
Tulitega gogo kando ya mto tukiwa watoto. Tulidanganya pero ni vumbi ya kutoka uwanjo. Tulitega matadpole tukidhani ni samo, tukazipeleka mtaa tukacheze nazo. Sasa inawanda ni hao mazee.
Ni hao.
Nauliza ni rive ama ni siwe, kwa vile ina flow to the city ikiwa dere. Tunamaliza biure, tumekuwa too busy kufollow the blueprint. Maji chafu inaleta magonjwa hatujui. Situation iko dark lakini niko optimistic, tutacheki asubuhi. Na let me hear you.
Do for Pararo. Tusafisheni mito ndo twende do for Pararo. Tusafisheni mito ndo twende do for Pararo. Tusafisheni mito ndo twende do for Pararo. Tusafisheni mito.
Atu for Pararo. Live zote tunazipa mngaro, ndo turudi enzi za Pararo. Uliza Maina, Kush ama
Kerago.
Them days tukienda Ngagoji, tukiwa ndese na akina Koshi. Wapa ilikuwa clean hata tukidaivi na kukuwa na any warrior. I'm on the skin. Flash forward to leo, river zote zimekuwa cocktail ya maji na siwa. Broken chupa za vileo zimetupwa deep down the flows of the river. Kemikali mbali kuzitupa tu mahali hapa fai kama ndani ya maji. Inaharibianga form mingi sana zenye bado tunahitaji, so tusafishe maji. Kemikali mbali kuzitupa tu mahali hapa fai kama ndani ya maji. Inaharibianga form mingi sana zenye bado tunahitaji, so tusafishe maji. Twende
Pararo, tusafisheni mito, twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito.
Cheki kama unaisikia, kama unaifeel, imba na sisi. It's very easy. Do for pararo, tusafisheni mito. Sawa. Do for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito.
Wewe na mimi kichakani. Siwe ucheza chini ya maji. Wewe na mimi kichakani. Siwe ucheza chini ya maji. Wewe na mimi kichakani. Siwe ucheza chini ya maji. Du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito, du for pararo.
Nadai kuwafunza dance.
Tusafisheni mito,
Simame.
pararo.
tusafisheni mito.
Ni rahisi.
Du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito. Du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito. Du for pararo. Unagodha kwanza. Du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito. Du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito. Twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito. Du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito. Twende du for pararo. Tusafisheni mito.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Yay.
Du for pararo.
All right. Bisiati? All right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, balance. Listen. Never bang that door ukisha itokea. Tanga marejeo ni ngamani. Usije kujifulu kijisho umepotea. Utokako hakupotezi dhamani. Don't start one side kidhanie umebobea. Consequence utawezana, sidhani tahadhari usije jipata jo ukijitetea. Si rahisi kudeal na karani. Wacha tamaa, utokako ni mtaa. Hata kama umesongwa na masaa. Si worth kwa ribu ya sasa. Ukikimbiza future utachwa mataani. Basi jamaa wacha ubinafsi mana. Sote duniani tunatosha na kuleta mwanga, anatumia sana kutoshanisha wote walio nje na ndani.
Balance, left, right and center, color. Let's in the future, balance. Utavuna ukipalilia, tanga tanga marejeo ningamani. Balance, left, right and center, color. Let's in the future, balance. Utavuna ukipalilia, tanga tanga marejeo ningamani.
The strong must protect the sweet, intuition at its highest peak. The world's been making me really sick, losing souls quicker than debris. Leaving home where you're going, baby. Don't you know your heart is where I'll be? This house just ain't a home without you here. And if you leave, please remember me. That's what my mama said to me as I left home so desperately. I didn't know it at the time, steady moving like I'm blind, sipping wells of absurdity, exterminating my sanity, imprisoning the walls of vanity, competing with the next fool to be, dancing in fine duality. I badly crave my energy, accepting what is, what couldn't be. A mind enslaved is forced to breathe, knocking on heaven's door for peace. The Creator said to me, home is where the harmony is. You only pray for what you miss. Rudi nyumbani, what you see. Yeah.
Balance, left, right and center, color. Let's in the future, balance. Utavuna ukipalilia, tanga tanga marejeo ningamani. Balance, left, right and center, color. Let's in the future, balance. Utavuna ukipalilia, tanga tanga marejeo ningamani. Wataka kuenda mbali, basi nenda, utarudi nyumbani ukienda. Ukienda, marejeo ningamani. Wapotoka, wataka kuenda mbali, basi nenda, utarudi nyumbani ukienda. Left, right and center, color. Let's in the future, balance. Utavuna ukipalilia, tanga tanga marejeo ningamani. Balance, balance. Left, right and center, color. Let's in the future, balance. Utavuna ukipalilia, tanga tanga marejeo ningamani.
Thank you so much, and we will be back.
Yo. Hapa kama hatungekuwa na viti, if we didn't have seats. Oh my goodness. Please guys, please. Now, raise your hand if you've ever heard music themed on environment sound so good. Raise your hand if it's your first time like me. Right? Now please give them a round of applause, a better round of applause. Please. Goodness, no, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I have never listened to music that is environmentally themed, and it does sound alive, very much alive. So, Frequency friends, one last time, give it up to them. Thank you. I hope Sasa next time, once we are done with this part, the serious parts, when you're singing, we are able to dance, yeah? We're allowed. We shall ask for permission. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I would like to
take a very, very important moment to thank you for your availing yourself here, to thank you for your attendance. By virtue of being here, it means that either you support people that believe in climate action, people that care about the environment, or better still, and which I think is the case, you yourself care about the environment. So please give yourself a round of applause. Kindly, kindly, kindly. Yeah, you're my type of people, meaningful, well-intentional people. So I know some of us are wondering, yes, we are gathered here, yes, I received an invite, but what was it for? And I would like to usher us in a part where we can understand exactly why we're here, who brought us here today, and what we are expected what we expect to receive from this engagement, right? A little bit of centering as a facilitator. I forgot my name. Hi guys, my name is Emmanuel Misiati. And I am a Teams Dynamics expert, an engagement enthusiast, and for this session, I shall be your facilitator. I am a sucker for meaningful engagements, such as this, where we are coming together for a very, very important cause. And today, we are here to celebrate, right? We are here to showcase, right? We are here to network, right? And we are also here to reflect. So I would like to invite someone who will be able to just give us a few opening remarks. She will be able to help us understand, yes, why exactly are we here and why it matters, okay? So allow me to get my phone. Thank you. Did you tell the person next to you welcome? Please just one last time, tell them welcome. Karibu, tell them karibu. Kama alichelewa mwambie hata hujachelewa sana. Tulishakula snacks. Okay. So, thank you very much. And as I invite this beautiful person to give us the opening remarks, I definitely do welcome you and ask of your indulgence as she and other speakers speak. Please do give them your best attention. Best tip, clap for them. That always works, all right? So, the person to give us our opening remarks. I'll start with the remarks that I know her as. The few times I've encountered with her, she's one of the politest people I've met. Very kind, very soft-spoken, very easy to speak to. So, Melin Abisa is a Kenyan environmentalist advocating for sustainable forest resource use and empowering communities through conservation and restoration. She has a background in project planning, management and monitoring, and evaluation. She is passionate about promoting nature-based solutions to restore Africa's forest, landscapes, and is currently the Inuka project co-lead. Please, a round of applause for Melina Bisa as she gives us the opening remarks.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Are you guys feeling good? Inuka Afrika, that's what we say when we are trying to give ourselves morale. So I am encouraging us to do that. Inuka, Afrika. Inuka, Afrika, Afrika. Thank you very much. So I'm Melina Bisa, and it's so nice to see you here. All of you are well dressed, and I'm so happy that most of us have kept time. Thank you very much. And yeah, so I will have a brief history of who Inuka is and what we are doing and how far we have come so far. So Inuka is the first on-the-ground project by Youth for Nature. Youth for Nature is a global NGO that is currently registered in Canada, and we are working with youth across various regions in the world. We have some in Africa, we have Asia, Europe, and all of us come together to connect youth so that we can amplify our work on climate action and the climate nature nexus. And it so happens that Youth for Nature has been doing much more work apart from just policy. And so we decided to start this NBS program that is trying to capacity build all the youth in Africa so that they can scale up their work and so that we can show that youth are actually doing something on the ground and that we have the powers when we are given the trust and also the investment to do more work and actually bring more restoration to our communities. Thank you. Please, the slide. So, Youth for Nature, in partnership with UNGO and GBIN at COP26 in Glasgow, we had a youth position statement on NBS, the Global Youth Position Statement on NBS. And these are views that were collected from various youth, 1,000 plus youth, giving their opinions on what NBS is and how they would want to do more action about NBS in their local regions. And so, apart from just working into policy actions as Youth for Nature, and then we decided to actually implement a project on the ground, and this is Inuka. Inuka supports youth working in tangible restoration projects with knowledge, skills, networks, and funding to effectively implement and scale their projects. We know that youth have the power, and we have the passion and the drive to do the work, but sometimes we lack the skills or the resources to actually implement the work that we are doing. And so Inuka is here to offer this support to our youth in Africa. And so as we do this, we are building social entrepreneurship skills among youth to address poverty and create sustainable livelihoods. We believe that there are nature-based economies. You know, environmentalism doesn't have just to be all work and no gain. So through establishing social enterprises, we are able to actually sustain ourselves and livelihoods through restoration. And then we are also scaling up NBS projects on the ground to meet the highest biodiversity standards. So as we are implementing these projects, we are supporting the youth to regain biodiversity in the areas that have been degraded. And this is by planting indigenous tree species in the exact regions that are supposed to be planted. And we are also launching stories because we believe stories are powerful and we have the narratives to push our own stories on how we are actually doing our restoration. So with these three initiatives, Inuka is more than youth or restoration. It's about building communities, thriving ecosystems, and improving livelihoods, and not just the youth livelihoods, but also the community's livelihoods. So Inuka, we are currently working with 3 youth groups across Kenya. And this is Big Ship, that is found in Mombasa. Big Ship is working on mangrove restoration along Chuda Creek. And we are able to see that how they're restoring their mangroves in this ecosystem. We know mangroves are found along the Kenyan coastline. And so we would want to see what are these best practices that Big Ship is implementing, and they're working on their restoration efforts. Another team is Nature and People as One. This is NAPO, and they are found in Marsabit. Marsabit is an arid area, and so we might be wondering how they've been doing their restoration, but they are actually doing it very well, and through a technique, a restoration technique called farmer-managed natural regeneration, and we will hear a bit from them, how they do it and why they're doing it. Another team that we have is Friends of Ondiri Wetland. We all know Ondiri Wetland is the biggest wetland in Kenya that is supporting water in Nairobi. So how can we conserve it and protect it so that it does not die? So since the launch of Inuka in 2023, we have made some accomplishments, and one of them is supporting 16 youth directly with knowledge, skills, and confidence related to NBS practices, fundraising, storytelling, and leadership. So from this program, we have been able to capacity build these 16 youth from the teams that I have just mentioned. And these teams are able to also train their team members. We are using a model known as TOT, Teachers of Teachers. So when we train these youth on how best they can implement their NBS projects, they also go back to their communities and train more community on how best to do these projects, and so creating greater impact in how we do our work. We have also designed a 6-part curriculum, and we've done 3 long visits across all 3 systems that we are working with the youth. So our curriculum is unique because it is also, we also consider the IUCN NBS standard criteria, and we believe that IUCN has been doing a lot of good work on NBS, and so how can we also show evidence through the work of the youth that are doing on the ground that actually we can support the NBS work and do more impact. And these study visits, we usually go to the team sites. We have a combination of in-classroom learning and also outward learning. And so by combining those 2 practices, we are able to see how best the restoration is done and also understanding why these teams are doing these restorations. We have also done a comprehensive storytelling training, including equipping the youth with the tools needed to tell their stories. So we believe storytelling is very powerful on how we showcase our stories of restoration. And so by training our youth how to actually tell their true stories and their voices, equipping them with how to take photos, how to do editing of the videos, so that they can do more of their storytelling and showcase their work on social media and also inspire more people to join this effort. Another accomplishment is distributing 10,000 USD grants to each team. And by this, we know that youth are actually doing the work, but how best can we support them so that they can scale up their work? And how can we do this? By also issuing them a grant that they can also improve on their ecosystems and create nature-based economies and try to have livelihoods through these micro grants. And so through their restoration efforts, they're able to create businesses that they can able to transform their lives and earn more livelihood. And then we have also produced an NBS series, Nature's Narratives in Action, accumulating over 15K views on YouTube. So as we also tell our stories, as the youth tell their stories, and we are also telling our stories of how we are impacting our youth, we have this series on YouTube. I encourage you guys to go and watch it, like, and also share, and just see, be amazed on how we've been doing these trainings and feel inspired so that when you go back to our communities, you can also have that zeal or fire to also start such a restoration initiative in your communities. And lastly, we are also building a community of care and practice, because when we started this project, we were all strangers. Now we are together, we are one, we assist each other in doing research and also sharing, and also how our narratives are going on in our community. So as you can see, this is some of the images. One, we are at Big Ship learning about mangrove and understanding what are these species being grown in the mangrove ecosystem and why this species. As you can see in the next picture, we have some storytelling training happening, and we are not just doing storytelling to the youth. Even when you go to the communities, we have some communities members who will just want to see how this storytelling is all about and also have them share in our experiences. Some of the trainings that are happening in class, and as we are at also Big Ship and Napo. Some of the accomplishments by each group, we have Big Ship have been able to construct an boardwalk. And this, they call it the Mikoko Nature Trail. And this, they are able to showcase more of the ecotourism, the nature around the mangrove, and people have the time to visit, to go boat riding, and also to just see the biodiversity that is within the mangrove ecosystem. And then we have Ondiri Wetland, who have been able to establish a botanic garden with over 70 indigenous trees. And this is a way to regain the biodiversity that is lost around the wetland. And they've also successfully hosted the conservation run. And this is a way of creating more awareness to the community on the importance of participating in NBS solutions. And then we have Team NAPO, who have been able to restore 435 hectares of degraded land. They have mapped, 435 hectares and so far restored 200 hectares. They've also organized a conservation cup that has brought together almost 450 youth. So you can imagine 450 youth doing an initiative on restoration. How much more, or how much can we do so that we can involve like even 1,000 youth now instead of 450? And of course, there are always challenges in implementing a project, and it has not been, I wouldn't say it has been smooth, but we have been able to learn from these challenges, and we are able to overcome them. And some of them have been time constrained. You know, it's difficult to implement a project, especially on restoration, because we need to see the results, and they take time to happen. So how can we see these results within the next 6 months? The best way we can see this is through the confidence and the capacity built in the youth. But on the actual restoration, it's a bit difficult because we need time for the trees to mature and also now see the biodiversity that is coming back. Another challenge has been connecting with mentors, with the youth. Sometimes it can be difficult to get the mentors that we need to especially guide the youth in how they're doing their restoration project. We have gotten a few, but we would like to engage more mentors so that we can be able to have diversity of mentors, because we have so many teams and they're doing different restoration practices. And limited funding against ambitious social innovations. Most of the projects that have been implemented by the youth are just a seed. It's like they're just growing. So we need more funding so that we can actually grow these projects and see much more impact within our communities. Some of the lessons learned: ecosystem-based adaptation is very important when we are incorporating it with the communities, because the communities are the ones who know what best is good for them. So as much as we are training our youth, they are the ones who are coming up with these ideas. We are not imposing the ideas on them. So we just help them shape these ideas into best so that they can be implemented according to their needs. Intergenerational knowledge transfer. It is very important to note that the elders have the wisdom, while us, the young, have the passion or the energy, and also the skills. So how can we integrate this? How can we bring them together? Because they're the ones who best know their ecosystem. So how can we learn from them, and they also learn from us, so that we can have better restoration engagements within our communities. And community engagement and ownership is very important, because when the project is owned from the community, they will be able to sustainably grow it, and it won't be difficult for them to even just adapt to the changes that are happening around them. And there is power in youth. Young people are highly innovative and adaptive, but they must be supported to realize their ambition. It has not been easy, like just to support youth, but we are doing the best we can as Inuka and as Youth for Nature. But we need more support, and also the power in the youth. We have seen that when youth are just given the space and the chance to actually do great things, they can do it. We just need to give them the opportunity and also encourage them, because we are together, so we have to stand as one. What's next for Inuka? Beyond the pilot, we envision a scale-up. The pilot, we have learned from it, was implemented in Kenya. We have learned from it, and now we want to scale it up. We want to adapt these practices to other communities across Kenya and across Africa, because Inuka is a great program that is supporting youth, building their skills, mentoring them. How can we greater impact so that we see our youth rising in restoration and doing what is needful to regain our biodiversity, create more green jobs for our people, and also just thrive in nature. And through the Inuka Scale Up, there will be more collaboration from more youth and across the country. And we're also building Inuka's community of practice. As we scale up, we're also building a bigger community. We have so many NBS experts within the team right now. We have marine experts, we have zoologists. So when we grow this community, we will be able to learn from among this Inuka community. We will be able to share our experiences and our practices, and we will be able to do more restoration at a greater scale to save biodiversity. And we are also networking and building a relationship. This celebration is meant to connect the project participants to a wider ecosystem of partners with a green economy space for sustainable and scaled impact. In this celebration, we are different people joining together, those who are joining online, and also just among us. This is a time for us to really connect and support our youth through various support kind. It can just be through mentorship, it can be offering a way on how we can share our stories more in your platforms. So this is how we are building our relationship, building our network and making it better to work for us. And this project wouldn't have been successful without our partners. First of all, our donors, Climate Works Foundation. Thank you very much. We really appreciate this opportunity to do the work that we are doing, supporting the youth. And also, it is just a great privilege to see that you trusted us and we have been able to see the growth of our youth in their restoration efforts. And we would like to see more of this action being done. And our other partners, Ubunifu Hub, thank you very much for hosting us. Always, Rockefeller Brothers Fund, Global Landscapes Forum, Kin International, IUCN, and GAZ Kenya. Thank you very much for always supporting us. And we hope that you will continue supporting us. And you can follow and engage with Inuka Afrika on X, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Melin. Inuka? Africa? No, you can't just say it. Inuka? Africa? Thank you very much, Melin. Now, just so that you get a measure of the person you're sitting next to, ask them, what are the 3 things you remember from what Melin said? Just 3 things. And now, if their answer is unsatisfactory, you are free to silently stand and shift your sitting position. You know, ask them, like, they can tell you what was most interesting about what Melin presented here, or if they had a question, but they have to tell you something. If they're not telling you anything, please be wary of the person you're sitting next to. Nanina waona, I can see you. Huh? Does the person sitting next to you I'll give you 30 seconds for that. So again, if that person is unsure, if they have nothing to say, you know, then maybe you shouldn't be sitting next to them. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. So, our time is up. Our recap time is up. So that was Melin telling us about Inuka, and she has done very well to help us understand what Inuka was about, who Inuka involved, the impact that they have made so far, the challenges they faced, and the lessons. So thank you very much, Melin. I would like to invite another person. As we heard, Inuka is a project of Youth for Nature. And just to also get a background from Youth for Nature, I would like to invite Miss Oluwajun, who is joining us online from Denmark. And Miss Oluwajun is from Nigeria. She is the managing director of Youth for Nature, managing the entire team, suites of programs and projects at Youth for Nature. She also supports all project deliverables or deliveries and ensures smooth operations. She is an Erasmus Mundus scholar and holds a master's in sustainable forest and nature management from the University of Copenhagen, Denmark, and Bangor University, UK. Please, as she joins us well online, help me welcome Miss Oluwajun. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me, Miss Oluwajun. Karibu sana. Yes, we can hear you. We'll just request a little bit of volume on our side. Okay.
Okay, that's perfect.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh, what a warm introduction. Hi, everyone. Inuka Afrika. So thank you so much for having me. I don't even know what to say after Abisa gave that thorough introduction of what Inuka is all about and how it came. And I think one of the motivation that I have to share with us today is, of course, share a little bit about Youth for Nature and also share how Inuka came to be, just a tip of what I was part of in 2020. And then I will also share a little bit of encouragement that we have a long way to go as young people, especially when it comes to Africa development and the work that we are doing now and we've seen happen with Inuka. And as Abisa already said, Youth for Nature is a by Youth for Youth international non-profit organization. And what we do is to equip and educate and establish young people when it comes to the discussion around nature and climate. And so we do this by storytelling, capacity building, and knowledge sharing. And Inuka is part of our capacity building program, which is beautiful and excellent. And one motivation that I share about Inuka actually was when I joined Youth for Nature as a global ambassador in 2020. As an organization, we were doing a lot of advocacy, outreach, engagement, knowledge sharing work. But then what was happening within the African team led by Kaluki, who is the regional director for Africa at that time, was talking a lot about restoration, about on-the-ground work because of the unique realities of, Africa as a region and the kind of challenges and realities that we live by. So at that time, there was a lot of discussion around Inuka, and this is something that Kaluki was very passionate about. And so over the years, and that discussion and proposal started for a long time until we were able to bring it to life. And here you have it, Inuka. So Inuka is not ending here, as Abisa has said. It's going to be our ongoing work. We are going to plan and try to mobilize for resources to scale up the work. I think for everything that Abisa presented to, we've seen it for real that when young people are given the platform, the access, the resources, the tools that they desire and they need, they can make change happen. I'm talking about transformative changes. Inuka is an example of that. Even the little we were able to give, the little we were able to do, we saw a lot of impact and we learned a lot, especially as an organization that we've been talking a lot about policy. We've been talking about nature-based solution, how it has to be community-led, how it has to be landscape-led, how we have to think of it as an ecosystem, that has different aspects to it. And we've learned a lot that, okay, now as Youth for Nature, we are not just talking about policy, we are not just talking about advocacy, but we are talking about real solutions that are implemented by real people, communities on the ground. And I'm talking about communities of young people on the ground that are doing amazing work in their different ecosystems, in their different, local communities. So this is really, really happy to see. Another thing I want to talk to us about is that as an African young person that we all are, honestly, I feel like there's a long way to go in terms of what we are doing. I feel we as Africans have this unique opportunity to really prove to the world that there can be development that take into consideration the whole aspect of, human existence, including nature, including humans, including local communities, that we can have sustainable development that does not harm any part of the society. And we can create new models of development that, creating jobs. Inuka did that, creating, economy, investment opportunity. Inuka did that, But then while restoring nature, we were doing that while we were restoring degraded landscape. So just taking all of these aspects into consideration, I see a lot of future that, as Africans, but also as young people in Africa, we can actually show to the world that there can be development that happens. And we can develop with nature, we can develop with communities. There can be a lot of development models that will take into consideration and not harm the planet, and not harm the people, and not harm nature. And that is one of the key lessons that I personally took from Inuka, that, we can build economy around, these things that have been messed up. We can start somewhere. We can build our economy around nature. We can do so many things. Why making nature to have its own integrity, and why making local communities to lead on the solutions to our problem? And that was such an amazing lesson for us. And also, one of the key things that I love about Inuka is how it was, we were having this discussion within our team, and then we're talking about how encompassing it is, the fact that we are not just saying nobody is imposing anything on grassroots organizations. These are solutions, these are ideas that are already existing within communities. What Youth for Nature did was just to enhance, provide the platform, the access, and the resources that are needed to make it successful. And so that means, like, what we said in our NBS Youth Position Statement is correct, that the actions, the solutions to many of our ecosystem issues, the solutions to many of the nature problems that we have is actually, and the solutions are resting with local communities, indigenous people, when they are given that right, that desired resource that need make magic happen. And that is what we can see in Inuka. So it is on the ground, but how can we support these solutions to scale? How can we support these solutions to be heard? How can we support these solutions to be bigger, to in scope, in scale, to deliver the solutions that they are intended for? And I think that is also one of the major things that Inuka has done. And we did it in a very encompassing way. It's not just about the solution, it's also about the knowledge that we got from our unique beneficiaries and project teams on the ground. We learned so much, and I think Abisa has said that, from going to visiting the different study sites, visiting the different, ecosystems and landscape that are being restored, and building this community of practice where people can learn from one another. I think that is a unique opportunity, building a solidarity and a community that really encourages you, that train you how to, write proposal, how to turn your impact into story and showcase the story to the world. Those are the things that Inuka did. So if I ask you one question, do you think we should stop here? I don't think we should stop here. I think Inuka as a pilot has created much more than we thought it would be. And it's time for us to develop the solution. So perhaps it's going to be time, next Inuka location, it can be in your region. And I think, from what you've learned, if it's something you will be interested to really join us to do this amazing work that you're doing, there's different opportunity to be part of these solutions, to be part of this change that is happening in our own generation. And Abisa has told you so many platforms that which you can come into this work that we are doing. So we are not stopping here. We are scaling up in Inuka. And I just want to also give a shout out to our amazing funders and partners. It's been an incredible journey. Thank you, Climate Works Foundation, for actually taking this dream, from bringing a dream from mere proposal into a project that was actually happened, and happened in such a way that was very impactful for local communities and grassroots organizations. And thank you so much to the Inuka project teams, both the past. We have Kalukipo, who was leading and the project director, and then we have Bulimo, who is the project co-lead. We have Abisa, who is the project co-lead. We have so many interns. Through Inuka, we have so many interns at Youth for Nature. We have Eda, we have Micah, so many of you, you made that project become a reality. So thank you so much. And thank you to our lovely and amazing beneficiary team, NAPO, Friends of Odiri, Big Ship. It was all a dream until you came into the picture and it became a reality. And thank you for all the amazing restoration work that you're doing. I hope you felt supported through Inuka, and I hope that that dreams has become a reality as we continue to support and continue to scale up this work. So thank you everyone for joining us and being a part of this amazing initiative. And I think, yes, that's all I can say. So thank you so much. And I will mic now.
No, please drop the mic. We would like to applaud you, please. A round of applause for Miss Olvajon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, as you can see, Inuka is not just alone, but is also with Youth for Nature and with a lot of support. And Miss Olvajon closes our opening remarks. All right? So I just see some of us feeling a little bit too comfortable. The juice is kicking in now. The cake is also kicking in. I see we have finished our part because now we're wondering if I step out and get more, will I be judged? Anyway, so just to warm up, please just stand. Just stand. Now, what we've had is opening remarks from Inuka Afrika and Youth for Nature. And we also might ask ourselves why? Why Inuka Afrika? Where did this come from? Why does it matter? And that's what we shall have next. But before that, for those that were here early enough, I'm alive? So get your partner. You know how we do it. Find someone next to you. If it's someone new, please catch them, bring them up to speed. Tell them what we mean by I'm alive, I'm awake, I'm alert, enthusiastic. And give all instructions. Right? So if you just joined us, we have 4 things that we are saying, and you can only say them if they are true to you. Right? So are we ready? Yeah. Remember, if the person you are speaking to is not embodying what they are saying, then be afraid of them. Just silently walk to another sitting area. Anyway, so, ready, let's go. I'm alive. I'm awake. I'm alert. I'm enthusiastic. All right, you can have your seats. So, now, everything that exists has someone that thought about it. You know, just as the Bible says, God says, let there be, and there was. Such is the power that we are given as human beings. And so, even for Inuka Afrika, there was someone who had a vision. And they were like, maybe this is something that is needed. This is something that can work. This is something that can be implemented. And so I would like you to please help me welcome the visionary for Inuka Afrika. And, just prepare your hands. And there was no bio for this one, but I shall have the honors of introducing him. I have known him for a few years now, have worked with him on 1 or 2 projects, and currently still working with him. And one thing that stands out for me for this person is the intention towards the intention towards what he is involved in, right? And I have met a lot of young people, and I have only met a few, or even still I'm yet to meet someone who has a lot of intention, a lot of meaning, and is able to follow through with or a vision or a task or a project. And anytime I'm working or just interacting with this person, I am reminded of such agency, of such diligence, and I see that it's a no-brainer that Inuka's visionary is this person. So please, put your hands together as we welcome Kaluki Paul Mutuku, who is Inuka's visionary.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sasa kwa wale ambao wako kwa mtandao na wasikii Kiswahili, itabidi wamenielewa kidogo. But are we energetic? Are we good? I start by saying I'm a very stubborn optimist and a proud son of the African soil. Say amen to that. Amen. And I am true to those words because I believe our narratives are ours to own, our narratives are ours to develop, our narratives are ours to share across the world. And this is exactly what Inuka was all about. And I'm also proud to say I'm a father of quite a number of people here. And so if you think I'm not your father, you can swallow that. But I believe I'm a father to quite a number of people here. And it's an honor, honestly. It's an honor to have been part of this journey. So, the visionary. What about Inuka was unique, and why Inuka? First, I believe in meaningful engagement of African youth. So for any one of you who follows me on social media, it's one of the taglines that I put, pushing meaningful engagement of African youth. And I'm biased on African youth because one, I know the resource deficiencies we have. I know the unmatched opportunities we also have. And I know the funding landscape that is always excluding African youth. And so if you want young Africans to stay true to the cause, which they're already doing, then one of the easy ways of supporting their work is actually by financing these programs, by giving them a platform to be heard and allowing them to fail forward. Allowing them to? Because it's important to fail. Yeah? I mean, no one is born as an expert. No one is born knowing it all. So if anything that you can learn from Inuka is we have failed forward. We took the challenge, we implemented it, and through whatever success, through whatever failure, through whatever lesson, it's actually been an worthy journey. But as I said, how did this vision come to be? So when I first joined Youth for Nature, of course, just a storytelling campaign. We were supposed to sponsor youth to go to New York. And I mean, like any other youth, you'll be excited, if someone is going to give you funding to go to New York, represent African youth, and create an engaged, region. And that is what I undertook, to just create an engaged region, initiate a strong region. And actually, for our first storytelling campaign, the Youth for Nature people will tell you that Africa ate over half of all the stories that we got globally. And so to me, that was an encouragement. And no wonder when we met in New York, I posed this question to my teams that, do you actually think these are just mere stories that people are just sending to you for the sake of the campaign? Do you just think these are young people who are just giving you so that you can know about them and do nothing? And this challenge is what actually, with a few of my colleagues, led to the push for us to register Youth for Nature. And so later on, we registered Youth for Nature as an international non-profit. And stuff then, as the Africa director, came in to just create a strategy that works for African youth, and an engagement mechanism that allows us not just to be heard, but to be seen and to properly engage on the ground. So then Inuka became its initial days in 2020. Of course, I scribbled some initial proposals for those of you who have access to it, which don't share publicly. I'll assure you that it was not as good as what we ended up with, but with a few iterations, of course, we got one of our initial partners, DEFRA, and the whole point was, we were ready to support African youth. Why they bought the idea is, one, Inuka has been phenomenal, actually seeking to, promote biodiversity and nature-based solutions. How many of us know or have heard of any other youth-led NBS project globally, apart from Inuka Afrika? Oh, okay, you're not supposed to fail by not raising your hand. So yes, so Inuka is the world's only and first ever youth-led on the nature-based solutions project. So that aspect of biodiversity and nature-based solutions was a critical component to this proposal, and we made sure that it was included in the plan, right? The second thing was, even as we bring young people on the ground, and that some of us push for meaningful engagement of African youth, then how do we make it meaningfully for them, for their communities, and for the livelihoods around them? So then the aspect of youth mentorship and community building came in, and this equally set Inuka apart as a unique program. And the final thing was on storytelling and scaling solutions. If you know me as a storyteller from everything else. True or true? I'm not convinced. Am I an impact storyteller or am I not? I am. Feels like I'm forcing you to say it, but well. So the third component was actually on lab solutions and storytelling, and Youth for Nature is known for that globally. Actually, we need to spotlight and give these youth leaders the space to be able to showcase their stories and share them with the global communities. And all you've heard from Eileen, and all you're gonna hear from this, and all you're gonna interact or what website, I'm not part of the project anymore, but all you're gonna see on the social media, it's the impact intentional groups from the coast to, Kikuyu to northern Kenya that are doing a lot with few resources they have. And to me, that matters a lot. So yes, 2020 starts, COVID happens, and one of the biggest funds I'd hoped I'll get failed. And, I feel that was the moment I don't know how to be a woman, but I felt I was a mother who was aborting a baby, or I was forced to miscarry, because this is a big vision. You have this funder who is almost confirming, and of course the support of the global team, and then they, fall off. And the reason, of course, understandably, COVID has happened. The donors need to, change their priorities. But as a stubborn African optimist, I still went on and, at least with the support of the global team, revamped the proposal, the concepts notes, and a bit updated what we needed to deliver more. And in 2022, we were actually at a fundraising meeting, and as a storyteller, I love talk. So when I got a chance to talk, I pitched about everything in Africa, all the programs and the challenges we are facing. Then I just talked about this particular concept that I have that has not been funded. And to my surprise, the funder was like, actually, do you mention nature-based solutions? So it turns out they'd actually had a pot of NBS fund for the last almost 1-2 years. They'd never come across a group that they can support. And just like that, we got the support to do Inuka. We need to clap for that. So to me, that is the vision, but I have a few things to just mention around then what the learnings have been, the new opportunities, and what we can do moving forward. First, I believe for those of us who have the experience, I see Kevin Luzalo is here, for those of us who have the experience to undertake the Inuka training, will bear us witness that they were at least intentional. True or true? True or true? How many of us had the chance to undertake our trainings? Amazing. I see all the Inuka babies that I have. They were part of this. So that is amazing. And I'll tell you what, this was as a result of joint concerted efforts. Many people gave an input and contribution to this material. You see, we had the opportunity to say, as Kaluki, I know the vision, I'm leading this, so let me do my curriculum. And I will still have done it. But the question is, would it have had the soul in it? So those are things that I hope you can learn as well. As you're implementing these programs, make it intentional, make it relatable, and make it speak to their grassroots issues. So on the curriculum, I'll always say it's one of our strongest areas that we implemented. On biodiversity and nature-based solutions, of course, we've seen the transformation around youth. And if you were to ask me as a visionary, has it been achieved? I'll confidently say 101% yes. We've gone, we've seen, and we've conquered. For those of us from northern Kenya, you know the challenges you're facing. And you also know the opportunity that this project did to you. And I say northern because, these guys are in a very interesting landscape, and the unique approach they have to landscape restoration is just, amazing. And it's one of the regions that I believe more people need to put resources in, beyond Inuka. Can there be more partners support this? And when we talk about restoration, it's not just about planting trees. There's many other aspects to restoration, but for the most of us, anytime people talk about landscape restoration, it's always about what? Tree planting. You know about a few billions that you're supposed to restore in this country, yeah? And not sound political. A good idea, but it needs to be customized per community and not leave others behind. We have people in the coast, again, mangroves are very unique in sequestering carbon and really helping also bring livelihoods for the community, you know? And so we have beach doing an equally important role there. And for those of you who really want to go and visit the Ganahawala, of course I've not. I'm waiting for an official invitation. Juma, I'm putting you on a spotlight. You have to invite me. I've not received any. And I can confirm it's not in my spam folder. So it's an open pitch for you guys to go connect with them and go and visit them as well. And also lastly, there is Ondiri. Now, for those of us who are in Nairobi, you know, we are like the kings and queens who, for the longest time, benefited of the efforts of people in Kikuyu. How many of us know that Ondiri actually is the source of some of the drinking waters that you consume in Nairobi? Did you know that before? No? See, he knew. Yeah, sure, you knew. Yeah, just one person and then me, and a few maybe from Inuka. And that's the thing. This wetland has been faced with so many challenges, and it's dying right under our watch. And if a group like Friends of Ondiri would not have come in to at least, you know, create community-centric programs that enable the community to understand the value of this resource, and through a multi-stakeholder engagement, create a program on restoring it, rehabilitating it, and showing the community the value of it being alive. Today, we will not have Ondiri. So I'm always proud to talk about that case study. I've been there, and I've known it for almost 5 years, and taking them as part of the Inuka beneficiaries was a great privilege because I do know the importance of inland wetlands, and especially this particular one in Kikuyu, and why we need to protect it. So on those, I'm confident we've achieved on biodiversity and NBS. On youth leadership and community building, before I continue, let me say this. If I am good on time, appreciate me. If I'm not good on time, I'm a storyteller. And I believe I have some good content to share with you, so bear with me. So when we first started Inuka, I can confidently say over 80% of the Inuka babies did not have the confidence I'm seeing today. And for the media people, at least I've walked the journey with the media people and the project team. You remember when, after we launched, because it's launched Inuka inside that room, I'm seeing transformation, which is it's a good mail. Even getting people to speak on the camera was a problem. Like I've never seen shy people on set. And the thing is, these are people who are doing quite an amazing work on the ground, but you put them behind the camera, in front of the camera, they freeze. And therein lies the problem. Meaningful engagement of African youth, Faith, I'm not mentioning you, don't worry. Meaningful engagement of African youth means we really have to tap into this potential. We need to allow this youth to know. These are the narrative. Anyway, no one is an expert. So, if you are doing the work on the ground, imagine if you match that with the impact storyteller skills that you have. That will actually allow the world to know the unique perspectives you have, the solutions you have on the ground, and also be part of the journey that you're walking. Because let me tell you, if you're not telling your story, they will come and tell your story. And the danger of a single story is what? For those who have trained on Inuka, you know that. This is the quote by Chimamanda. What is the danger in a single story? It seems I failed as a teacher. I'm hearing someone who gets it, but I want you to be the storyteller. Shout it here. Robert. The danger of a single story, it's not that it's not true. The danger is that it's not complete, and you got it. So when you allow people to tell your story, and you don't have your own authority in the story, then that story is not complete. So if there's anything on the mail, I believe on youth leadership and community building. We empower these youth. Luzalo, you know how many times we'd ask questions and people would not respond? Not because they don't know anything, but because they are shy. But let me tell you, right now, if I shot a question to someone from any of the youth groups, from the staff, from the partners, in fact, the media team, right now I believe they are like climate people, but they came in very green. They were just there to, take the film, recorders and everything. But now if you even put them on an interview, they will actually give you serious content on nature-based solutions. And to me, that is progress. True or true? The final thing, we were supposed to do the scale-up solutions, and of course we are here today, and I do hope that beyond this, the legacy, I've always talked to the project team about this, your legacy is how you scale Inuka. So today is not about celebrating. Today is about getting to the next challenge. It's about owning the next phase of this project, because the thing is this, you see we've already achieved the pilot, right? We've achieved. Are we fundraised for the scale-up? Are we well equipped as storytellers to cascade the information down to the grassroots? Are we ready to take on landscape restoration, not just in Kenya, but across Africa, knowing that in this decade of restoration, how many years are we into the decade of restoration? How many years are we in? You know about the UN decade on ecosystem restoration, right? When did it start? I'm not asking about climate, Paris Agreement. Someone said 2015, I'm not sure. And I won't mention names. But from 2020 to 2030, this is the decade of ecosystem restoration, and it means as of 2024, we have about 6 years left, right? For all project teams that are here presently, at least one of your restoration programs has been around tree planting is one of the activities, right? And it takes quite a number of years for trees to mature, right? If we talk about carbon sequestration, how much will we be able to sequester by the turn of this decade? So to me, this is a challenge. Let's appreciate the journey that we've had. The only way we celebrate is if we scale this project and make it a dream in Africa. There's a reason I intentionally made it Inuka Afrika. And it's an Africa with a K. For those of us interacting, I don't know whether you've had a moment to ask yourself, why Africa with a K? But you don't know, meet the project team, they will explain to you why Africa with a K. But remember, the bottom line is I'm a very stubborn African optimist and a proud son of what? Africa soil. Sijamaliza bado. Tulia. So, as a visionary, and just like any other father or mother or parent or anything, there are lessons we've had. And one of the things I don't want to shy about was this project meant a lot to almost everyone. It meant a lot to me personally. We had our own highs and downs. We had our own unique challenges and lessons as well. We had our own opportunities and also some missed opportunities. And I think one of the phenomenal ones, and I hope these are lessons the project teams take forward, we had a serious HR process, right? At least the project team had some questionable issues that forced them to be, ousted out of the project. But as that happened, it created a strong resilience. We know we are now much better. We've learned more. We know how to intentionally plan for projects. We know how to ensure we have the impact policies that guide and safeguard everyone involved in this. So if I'm to give any word of encouragement and advice to the team, don't forget this history. Do not forget the challenges. Do not forget those months that the project had to be stalled. So that it was a hard pill to swallow, but it allowed us to also learn better. So take that forward as a lesson. And if you must discuss that lesson, discuss it with optimism, with hope, forward thinking, and not as a victim, rather as a victor. I think those of us who are in the project know this better. There are a few people I really want to personally thank. Um, and first of them is Marina Melanidis and Caroline Miner. These are some of, Marina is the founder of Youth. I need you guys to give a quick shout out. And Caroline Miner was the co-founder, at some point a fundraising director, so I appreciate her. So for those of us from Youth Connection and they've interacted with these two characters, they will know these are two of the amazing people who intentionally support teams. And for all time that I was at Youth for Nature, by the way, I resigned last year to pursue other things, but all my years at Youth for Nature were nothing short of amazing learning and grow upon growth. I saw myself rise from a coordinator to a director, to a global director, to the lead of the project, and I can only attest that to some of the supporting team. Of course, the Youth Nature Global team, but specifically, I know the hand that Marina and Caroline played, and so to them, I am really grateful. Second, I'm grateful to one young man. He happens to be in this room. Where is Victor? Victor, can you just stand? So, for those of you, don't sit down. For those of you who had the privilege to attend my interviews, and I'm sure most of you were intimidated, were you or were you not? Shout it. Now you're in the team. You were, yes. And the thing is this, I feel it's important as leaders to also own the narratives, even at the interview process. And this young man volunteered. I never had to pay him to be on the panel. But for those of you who had the chance to interact, Victor was a very strong component of the interview team, and he sat through with me, at times lasting 45 minutes for a single candidate. And for almost a full week he was there. So let's appreciate him for the contribution he did to the project. Thank you so much, Victor. I will also want to appreciate in the project we talked about the ups and downs that we had. And so I also say as a father, I have some, not really prodigal sons and daughters, but I do have some adopted babies, and I think the project has. So Faith and Lydia Kalechi, if you can just stand up from the team. So these two ladies have very unique stories, and I'm glad GGI is fully represented today. I'm glad Ondiri is still represented today. But these two individuals have been also a face of resilience in the project. If you know Faith asks the hard questions, the nagging questions, the disturbing questions, but the required questions. And so if you have not enjoyed all the study visit trainings and the questions from Faith, I think you have a problem. Can you appreciate Faith? With Lydia, Faith, why are you sitting down? With Lydia, so she was the initial focal point at Ondiri, and of course, a lot happened, the project team knows that. But still, we made the decision to still have Lydia as part of the team. And every time, hello? I feel for the most of the project teams, you might not know this, but at some point, Lydia was not fully in the Ondiri team. Every time, it never appeared, like publicly. But she's now fully like the team, and through her leadership and the guidance team, they are where they are. So let's equally appreciate the role she played. Now, I will not say all, okay, you consider that, okay. There were unique teams when it was some out here today, but I really want to appreciate all the youth teams who came to support the team and made sure that everything was amazing. So let's also appreciate the project team. For the trainings, we were supposed to have 5 trainers. Of course, I doubled up as one of the trainers. But one person who was consistent in this whole thing, I don't want to say his name, he just knows himself. Shoot up. Let's appreciate him. So when I reached out to Lunzalo, he was straight up ready to support the project. And if you guys have been part of this, you know they brought into supporting, mentoring, of course, alongside the project team. So for that, we are really appreciative. The project team, of course, it was a very small team. I can see 2 people here. I'm not sure, are the interns here? So person from the project doesn't understand, so they just so let's appreciate them as well. So throughout the process, these are people who have also equally learned. And you remember when I said when you started, there are people who could not speak, eh? There are people who could not take interviews. Now you have the faces of those people, but right now you put them behind the camera, they will give you some of the best interviews. They give you some of the best, recollection of the process. And also, let's appreciate them for all that, and also really taking over the project from me. That was, I feel, for me, a big opportunity for you to step up, for you to learn. Now, every time I think of this group, I'm very emotional. And if it was not for this team, nothing we have done at Inuka would ever materialize. In fact, I'm always convinced that if we are to pick any particular star, this is the team that is the star of the project. Can you give a shout out to Envy Concepts? As you do this, I see the director is quite behind. You need to just come closer a bit for people to see you. So something about the media company, and please, guys, the rest of you just stand and let people know you. I know you're doing the Lord's work, but just shoot up a bit. Thank you. Yeah, let's appreciate them. Guys, how was the experience dealing with NB Concepts? How was the experience getting interviewed by them? Okay. How was it being transformed into impact storytellers and owners of your narratives? What do we say to them? So let me tell you something. There are many media companies you can work with, but there's only very few that have the repute, the ethics, and the standards to deliver such a program. And if I was to wake up tomorrow, I would still be with this team because I do know the intention they brought. I believe in some of these people you've seen father figures, you've seen men of God, you've seen mentors, you know. So I do hope that actually even as you scale up, for whatever project or teams that you're gonna gather, do not let biased emotions go ahead of you. Think with your grit, let your wisdom guide you, and find ways you can accelerate this that we initiated. Because the truth is this, you think of other alternatives, but other alternatives means starting from scratch or having to take credibility for work that has been done by others. So yes to collaboration, but yes to working towards this vision together. So as a father, should this team somehow miss out on bigger picture, I'm personally coming for Bulimo and Melin, knowing that you've been molded by this team. I'm not a politician, but I just put some politics there. So let's appreciate them. Of course, like one particular artist said, finally I have to thank me for believing in me, for living through it all, for showing up, of course also for crying, and I needed to cry, for being with you all when I needed to be with you all, and for being part of this community. So thank you so much to all of you who made this very possible. You are the leaders, you are the champions, and without you, Inuka is not possible. And actually, I also want to thank Ubunifu for the critical role played. Like they hosted us here for almost a year. We were here as a staff team, and it was out of mutual respect and understanding. So for that, I'm equally glad that they gave us that opportunity. So to the Ubunifu people represented, receive my personal gratitude, and all the young people who've also been part of the Ubunifu, community. I see quite a number of them in this room. I hope if anything, whatever you do, I know I've heard there'll be, oh wait, I didn't see myself. Okay. But the thing is, experience everything you're getting today, but make connections with all the wonderful people that are in this room, because trust you me, there are powerhouses here. And there are people I don't know personally, but I believe you have something that you carry. So in any case, make this a storytelling event. Share with people, connect with them, reach out to the project team, and find ways that you can leverage partnerships for the future. What next? I promised 2 minutes, I'm done. The youth teams, you have to keep the dreams alive. It's not over. And where the project team might want to support you and fundraise for you, you equally have the challenge to fundraise for yourselves. So let's use this as a pedestal to really boost our fundraising efforts. And if anything, I'll assure you, I'll be a proud father if you guys scale your projects. Do we take a commitment to scale our projects? There's no confidence in that. How many promise, or do we promise to scale the projects for better and for better till restoration succeeds in Kenya and in Africa? Well, the yes have it. To the media team, I do hope you continue playing that role, and I've seen there's a couple more additions. I hope you can play the role to guide these youth, guide these teams, intentionally give them impact documentaries, train them to be better storytellers, train them to be visionary leaders, and allow them to experience the power of media. Does the media team commit to do that as well? Without a yes, I'm not leaving this stage. True or true? True. So I do hope, and beyond this scale-up, I hope you've created networks that you can still learn from these people, reach out to them, and find ways you can connect more. Okay? To the partners, of course, I know many of them have been shown here. I hope we can only get more partners moving forward. I hope that it will be more intentional and we can support each other mutually. We can actually see young people for who they are. Let me tell you, it was not easy to get the 10,000 per youth team, but we still achieved that. And I know much is, it may not be so much, but the young people, it's a lot to transform them, to unlock their potential, and to allow them to widen, spread wings, and do the work they're doing while enhancing their livelihoods. So in any case, I do hope partners see the opportunity to finance youth-led initiatives and trust young people and communities with financing. I don't buy to the crap that young people are expensive. We are not expensive. Young people just need small amounts for you to unlock their potential and for you to see the power in them. So finance them. It's not a request, it's a right. So the best you can do with the money you have is put them in the rightful hands of young people and the very future holders of those positions in. I hope that we can continue being honest, accountable, and trustworthy. Let's be kind, and let's create understanding systems that go beyond us. It's been an absolute honor to be the project visionary, to have served as director across different mandates at Youth for Nature, and to personally have seen Inuka as a pilot to what it is today. I thank you for working with us in the journey. And for those who know me, walk the journey with me in the other aspects I'm leading change from. So thank you so much. And for the remainder of the time, I hope you have a productive time.
Thank you very much, Kaluki. No, surely. After all that has been said, a better applause is needed. Now, that was without my direction. For this one, I'd like just to give him a more unique applause. Most times people say round of applause. This time I would like us to do it literally. A round of applause for Kaluki, please. Yeah, a round of applause for Kaluki, please. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I think it is always a profound experience to get to hear learn or know something from inception all the way to the end, right? And so I think it is correct to say we are all inspired by the vision that was and the practical approach that was taken and how it was actualized, right? All right, so if you're saying right, please stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up, just stand, just stand, just stand. Yes, thank you. Now, as you stand, in case you're wondering where we are at in our program, something that we have continuously had is Inuka Afrika engaged 3 nature-based projects, right? And these nature-based projects were given financial help, they were given skills, they were given insights, and they were allowed to now continue with their activities. So the next part, we are going to hear from these 3 projects, from their representatives or the people that are on the ground. But before that, I would like us to do a very simple thing, just a simple thing to get us warmed up. Eh? Kaluki said, by the time you're leaving here, you should be meeting someone and all. So our first is, just move your seat. It doesn't matter where you go. Just don't sit where you had sat. So find another seat. Find another seat. It could be in front here. It could be in the same lane. Just find another seat. Surely you can't warm one seat, just one seat. So just find another seat. Just rotate around. Thank you. Just find another seat. Thank you very much. Just find another seat. Ah, lovely. Make sure that you are sitting next to someone. Don't find yourself sitting alone. But msiende wote, like msi switch wote. All right, thank you very much. 15 seconds for that left. Make sure you're sitting next to someone. Make sure you're sitting next to someone. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, if you're standing next to someone new, please show your hand. If you're standing next to someone new, perfect. So, find a partner, please, find a partner. If you are standing out of the tent, you are stealing from the engagement. You can only do this from the tent. Please do come forward. All right, so you found a partner? I ask them their name, then I'll tell you what to ask next. Ask them their name, All right, so, ask that person, how are you feeling right now? Unafilaje? Na akwambia anafilaje. Unafilaje? How are you feeling? Kuna watu hawana new partners. Mnafikiria siwaoni? You think I'm not seeing? All right, so that's very good. Now, I have another question that you should ask that person. Eh? Ask that person, right? And this is just for icebreakers. What is one random thing that crossed your mind as people presented here? Just something that caught your mind and you were thinking about it. And you're like, why are you thinking about food right now, Miss Yati? Try to be as honest as possible. If something that you can say, I know a lot of things went through our minds, but what is something that occurred in your mind as the presentations were happening? It doesn't have to be related to the presentation. It doesn't have to be related to the presentation. Kuna watu wajiulizana, mmeulizana? Have you asked each other? Have you asked each other? Please, adhere to the instructions. All right. Now, lastly, please angle yourself that you face them. Angle your face that you face them. All right, going back to our very light energizer. Now, this time we are not saying, I'll teach you a song. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake. Now sing with me. Come on, let's go. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. Kama huyo mtu aimbi, don't trust them. I'm alive, awake, alert. Alert, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I stop. So now, remember, you cannot trust someone who says they are alive, but do not look alive. You cannot trust someone who says they are enthusiastic, but do not look enthusiastic. So, when we are saying alive, we are doing this way. So I'm alive. Right? I'm alive. When we are doing alert, you say, I'm alert. Oh, sorry, it's awake. Sorry, I'm awake. Right? So it has to be in the eyes and in the hands. I'm alive. I'm awake. I'm alert. I'm alert. Enthusiastic. All right, we'll do this only 2 times. Again, if that person is not embodying that emotion, do not trust them. You cannot trust them. Are you ready? In 3 and 2 and 1, I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert. Alert, awake, alive. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. So that was a trisex. Guys, fast for the last round again. If the and I'm seeing these people, if the person that you are doing this with is doing I'm alive, enthusiastic, I'll give you 5 seconds to just move away from. Don't even tell them I'm going. Just move away from them. Bad vibes. All right, last one. Ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I'm alive, awake, alert. Alive, alert. I'm alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic. I can have your seats. Your new seats, not the old seats. Your new seats. Yeah, no other people. Your new seats, your new seats. Anyway, thank you very much. Now, we started with a journey. We had a welcome note. We had something about Inuka Afrika, where they came from. Then we had something from the visionary. Now, there are these 3 nature-based projects that we keep on hearing about. And I would like to ask you from them. So the first person that I would like to invite so that they tell us what they are doing or what they have been able to do is someone called Robert Mayer. Now, Robert is an environmental educator and trainer, a climate change activist and writer. He is the focal point for Inuka Afrika at Friends of Ondiri Wetlands, Kenya, and project lead for the Ondiri Wetland Botanic Gardens project. He is the communications team lead at Africa Climate and Environment Foundation. Please, a round of applause for Robert. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. How are you? I thought you just said you are live. Or it was just a song. All right, I'm excited. Let me begin by saying I'm also a storyteller, so I would take quite some time. But I was a storyteller before I came to Inuka Afrika. But see, our lives have changed. So even before I highlight what I would like to share with us so briefly, there is something that has been troubling me, and I thank God because through Inuka Afrika, I've been able to get to this fora where the things that have been troubling me are. So I have learned over time that there has been an existing gap. I don't know if it's existential gap between policy implementation, policy formulation, and policy implementation. The gap continues to widen such that the people who make the policies, they do not implement. The people who implement the policies, they are not privy to the policies and frameworks guiding the same. So I thank God that through Inuka Afrika, I've been able to attend this fora so that I can be able to intercept and pray that all of us can join forces so that we can be able to intercept the policy formulation processes, policy implementation on the ground, and then have this thing moving. Are we together? Are we together? If that makes sense, why can't you just give an applause, even as I get into the process? Yes. So we get to the first slide. It's just an introduction. This is Friends of Ondiri. Wetland, Kenya. And we've been running a project called Ondiri Wetland Botanic Gardens, which we have been successfully led by Inuka Afrika. All right? So, what some of our key thematic areas have been climate change action, biodiversity restoration, food and water quality, meeting the demand of the same, and lastly, enhancing student mentorship and community capacity development. So these are things that we've been able to realize along the way, because we realized we implemented systems thinking, but we didn't know that was it until we learned of it recently, and we're like, that is it. So I'm just going to highlight a few of the successes that we have had, because Friends of Ondiri, before Inuka Afrika came into being, ours were wishes. We just wished that we'd do something. We were on the ground but incapacitated. We did not have the capacity, we didn't have the resources, we didn't have the knowledge, we didn't have the human resource, but we have the natural resource. So we were wondering, we had many things planned, but all of them on paper. But when Inuka Afrika came on board, they catapulted us. And so we have taken a lot of energy taking off, and we are in that area or in that place where we are taking off. So through implementation of our process, of our project, we've been able to successfully establish one-of-a-kind botanic garden at the Ondiri Wetland Botanic Garden. And as highlighted by our colleague, Melin, we have planted at least 70 different tree species, indigenous and native to the region. That is something to be clapped for. Because when you're doing biodiversity restoration, you do not just plant something anywhere. You have to do background checks and understand which ecosystem does this tree species that you're planting does so well. And so by so doing, we are sure that we are restoring the ecosystem, we are restoring, bringing back the life that used to be there, the flora and fauna. And we are excited because currently, based on the data that we have from Nature Kenya, we have at least about 263 bird species at Ondiri Wetland, and we have been attracting birders and bird watchers. Clap for us, thank you. Number two, we have had successful team capacity development. When we began, as we told you, we did not just begin from nowhere. We had to do background checks. And one of our models that we have used is one of our partners. We have the Practice Botanic Garden, who willfully gave us the knowledge. They took us to the ground. So before we set up our project, we saw how our project would be 20 years later. And that motivated us enough. They have taken us through the journey, are helping us to find even the right seedlings and the right species to be put in our place. We have also had our team participate in TOT, training of trainers, and many other capacity development programs that have been running so far. Number three, we have had successful awareness and conservation programs. Actually, even before I mention it, through that we have been able to engage at least more than 1,500 native in the region. We have talked to them one-on-one. And some of the fora that we have applied was the Ondiri Wetland Conservation Run that you can see. And Inuka team was part of that because apparently the planning coincided. When we had the run, we were having our study visit at Ondiri. And that was a wonderful experience. Wasn't it so? For those ones who participated, wasn't it so? Thank you. We also had a community engagement forum. We have been having several. This is just a representation of one of them. And this community participation has included the elderly, the youth, and the women. Through that, we have also noticed that local youth did not participate in the run because we noticed that those who participated had come either to represent the organizations, they came because they were in school or just because they're enthusiastic. We realized that the local man did not participate. So we organized, having borrowed from NAPO, the Conservation Cup, we organized for a tournament, a one-day tournament. We brought people on ground, and we had at least 150 participating in that inaugural tournament. We have also had our student mentorship programs ongoing at Kamangu High School and the program continues. Number 3, we have been able to access to networking opportunities. We have been able to participate in other forums through support from Inuka Afrika. I was able to attend an IDDRR. Huh? IDDRR, Nyambu, you can say that. Thank you. So we were there, we shared our ideas. We've been in many other fora. We have attended LOI, we have attended many other fora. I would just have mentioned if we had time, but because I'm rushing the time, just know we have been there. We have learned, we have gathered, and we are going to implement. All right? Number 4, source of livelihood. Apparently, it happened when we began this program, all of us on the ground were jobless. And I guarantee you that from November last year to date, we have been employed youth. Number 2, through the projects that we have implemented, because we are doing food security and everything else, after our trees caught gravity and they began to grow, one of the ways to manage our seedlings has been through vegetable growing. We planted about 5 different species of indigenous vegetables. I don't know how you call saget in your language. I don't know how you call managu in your language. I don't know how you call serovi, terere. We have had all of them. And as we speak, we would actually have loved to exhibit them here, but we are now out of the season. So we are preparing for the next season of planting. Can you clap for us, please? Also, through that, you can see we sold it, we made it. And we have also have some community members who have been working as our community casual laborers, who have also been earning a living. They're so excited about the project, and they are grateful. Actually, sent their regards to you. We have also had a tax shop. We have an Ondiri Wetland tax shop that is sorting out the people who come to relax there, who come to visit our botanic garden and the other ecotourism activities that we've been holding. And they have been buying supplies, and we have been receiving money from them, which has helped us in one way or another to continue with what we are doing. We have a network, a wide supply that is happening there, among other things. And for your information, when we constructed the botanic garden, the number of tourists that have been visiting, both local and international, has accelerated. All right, next, we have had opportunities to attract other partners coming on board. When we began this, many people did not know what they would do if they came on the ground. But here we are. We have had a Bold Girl Unite coming. We have had students from WMI. We have had others from, this one is called, okay, this one, we were doing a documentary by United Nations Framework Convention on combating desertification. So a documentary has already been recorded at our botanic garden and the wetland, which is going to be aired, hopefully, during the next COP. Clap for us. Thank you. And then another thing, we've been able to attract interns and volunteers. And I'm happy that today we have some of them who are excited about what we are doing. Just wave from where you are. I'll introduce you when I finish. Thank you. Thank you. We have Carol, we have Lauren, we had Alexi, we had Joyce, and we just thank God about that. Next, we have had a second botanic garden. By the way, we are very ambitious. With the little that we had, we established the first botanic garden that Inuka was funding and decided by faith to leap into the next. So we are establishing our next botanic garden at Kamango High School, which is within 5-kilometer buffer zone after we did the mapping, and we will be planting it, the first phase, during the Mazingira Day, and you are all invited. Lastly, plans moving forward, we said we are thinking of establishing at least 20 botanic gardens by 2026. That is by faith. We have started, we are on the second one. We have 18 more to go. The breakdown is over here. We also look forward to establish or to creating storytelling competitions. If you've been following me, I hear some people have been following me. We have been doing some storytelling, but we want to accelerate it. And that's some of that we are doing. And then the schools that we are working with, establishing and enhancing establishing and or enhancing the environmental and environment organizations or clubs there. Some of the challenges is just empowerment, which we might talk about in the future. Let's move to the next slide. There are many opportunities for you to support, as it has been highlighted. You can read for yourself because of time. And then next, benefits of supporting, they're also there. I'm sorry, I'm rushing through because of time. And lastly, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Robert. Makofi tena kwa Robert, please. Hapo hivyo nimepea storyteller Mike nikamwambia 3 minutes akasema what? So thank you very much, Robert. It is good to see what Friends of Ondiri are doing, and it is good to be of ambitious. So again, muendelee hivyo hivyo. The next person that I would like to invite is from the other nature-based solution project that was there. And this is a project that is based at the coast. And we have heard a lot about mangrove restoration and climate change or climate action at the coast. And for the person that I would like to invite is someone from Big Ship. We've seen what Big Ship have done. And, well, I'll just read you her bio. It's very impressive. Diana Anyoso is a marine conservationist. Diana Anyoso is a marine conservationist with a bachelor's degree in coastal and marine resource management. She has dedicated 3 years to working with Big Ship, focusing on community empowerment, climate literacy, and environmental protection along the Kenyan coast. Through her work, Diana combines scientific research and community engagement to promote sustainable conservation and inspire others to protect and conserve the environment. Please, a round of applause as we welcome Diana. Karibu sana.
Wow. Thank you so much for that introduction. And to kick us off, we are so humbled as Big Ship to be part of the Inuka project, which has really meant a lot to us. And being the only organization that was benefited from the cost, we really had to bring in a lot of initiative to showcase what other communities and youth groups are doing in Mombasa and all along the coast. So, Big Ship, as you have seen, because we are in Inuka, we are a youth-led organization by default, and we are working with youth, to support youth-led initiatives for sustainable development, and in order to support livelihoods for the community. And our team is so passionate because we are very, very young, very energetic. We are so passionate about what we do. We give it all. So, and our mission is to promote sustainable biodiversity and improve community well-being through collaborative actions and practices. And we have our vision is to have a greener, inclusive, resilient world. A greener because you are into restoration and all that. Inclusive is for everyone to take part, and also resilience in terms of not only calamity, but also in terms of resources. Okay, and our priority areas, we have environment and climate action, economic empowerment and household well-being, child protection, and then we have cross-cutting issues where we have environmental, education and advocacy, and gender equity and social inclusion. And we are so diverse because we are one of the pioneer conservation groups in Marsa. And as you understand, conservation works is not all about planting, but it covers a lot, as other speakers have said, like what Kaluki has said. Restoration is not all about planting, but also by you conserving the well-being of the people who are doing that work. And our NBS initiatives, as you have seen, we have several. And we have environmental initiatives like Adopt a Site. And Adopt a Site is our backbone project that is majorly supporting the mangrove restoration project, which is community-centered, where now we partner with the community adjacent to a degraded area and external communities, external funders or donors for financial support to restore degraded areas. We have Asylum Coco. I don't know if you can see it, but this is purely a social enterprise program to support the communities who are now being told to stop cutting mangroves and do something else. So the honey production is under the Asylum Coco, and which is also very vital for economic empowerment of the community. We have the yogurt forest. It's not really yogurt production, but it is a waste management initiative that's active economy in order to curb waste pollution in the marine ecosystem. And then we have Duapa, which we were able to benefit from KIN, which was here. And it's basically to support our monitoring and reporting of our restoration works, because we don't just plant nata trees. And that was on environmental ecotourism initiatives. We have a lot, and this is where we actually got the funding opportunity to be part of Inuka. We have our Mangrove Resource Center. That will be the last one. We have our our Mangrove Resource Center, which is basically under a program known as Mikoko Nature Trail. And Mikoko Nature Trail is an ecotourism initiative that we developed in order to provide a sustainable way for the community to earn a living. And through that, we envision to create a resource center in the mangrove ecosystem where it can be impactful and sustainable for the community. This will create jobs. It will promote ecotourism, not only in Ganahola, where the project is, but also in Mombasa. It will be one of its kind because it will be on the mainland part of Mombasa, as most of the tourists are attracted on the island part. So if you are here, you can be part of that visionary project. And then we have our mangrove boardwalk, and this was supported by Inuka, where we were able to construct it. And as you can see from the resource center, the one stretching that on the right side is the boardwalk, which we have already started. And that means that Inuka is the one step to us realizing the vision of our resource center. We have boat riding and some of the ecotourism activities and benefits you can get. Yeah, and through the Inuka initiative, we were able to develop our Mikoko Nature Trail website. It was not there. We didn't have such a thing. But now through the Inuka support, we now have an ecotourism website. Makofi. And then we also did community engagement, and this is where we learned more on traditional ecological knowledge, harnessing more on the knowledge of the elders in order for us to conserve the mangroves more. Because a lot of us youths, we say climate change and mangroves are good, but we really don't know what is behind the mangroves, so we harness that knowledge from the elders. And then the boardwalk establishment, as you have seen, and then also mangrove restoration, so Inuka also took part in the mangrove restoration activity. And just to give us a snippet of how Big Ship has come in terms of restoration, for us to appreciate now that we are venturing into nature-based solutions that are more of social enterprise, we have been growing trees since 2009. As from 2017, as you can see, it's when now we were able to have our data in check and follow through the monitoring and reporting system from the Duapa project. And so far we have planted, from this data, we have planted like 300,000 mangrove trees. And all that is being monitored, is being checked. We have reports and all that in order to give hope to our partners who work with us so that they can also give us funding to support our social enterprises. And now, why partner with us? We have been doing restoration for like now 14 years, just planting trees. And now we are having this vision of now having this mangrove resource center for the community. We're having all this project of ecotourism. 10 years ago, we were just planting. Now, we are venturing into the initial steps of ecotourism through the support of Inuka. 10 years to come, we will have our resource center. Isn't that great? Yes, and also why you need to support us is because of our community connection. We work with the whole stretch of Chuda Creek, which has got more than 8 communities. And we not only support along Chuda Creek, but also in Kwale, where we have these initiatives being replicated. And so that really shows how scalable our initiatives are. And now, as we have all heard that we really need to scale up, we have started the journey with Inuka. How else are we going to proceed? Our resource center had a budget of 38 million, and we thank God through Inuka and through also another project known as Kemsfed, we were able to get 10 million. Isn't that great? So we are remaining with 28 million. That is around like 18,000 US dollars for us to really support these communities, to create jobs to these communities, you know, to really have something that is impactful. Hata ukikuja after 10 or 20 years, you will say, I took part in this. So that is how you can support us. And this unique project will create youth employment, enhance visitors' experience, attract local and international tourists, and create a sustainable revenue flow for the communities in Mikindani. I wish you came to Mikindani like 5 years ago and now, and I really wish that you be there and support the project and come now after 5 or 10 years to come and see the impact we've created. And all this is because that Inuka believed in us, that apart from restoration and planting, we can also venture into something that is revenue generating, that is obtained from restoration. Isn't that great? Yeah, you can contact us in all platforms. We are everywhere. You can support us, share. You see, in LinkedIn, in Twitter, in Instagram, everywhere. And lastly, thank you so much for being patient.
Thank you very much, Diana. Now, for Diana, I think we'll give a different round of applause. Now, if anything you can borrow is different claps that you have learned from the facilitator today. So we are on to clap number 3. Okay? So, for this clap, I say clap, you clap. Clap. No, come on, clap, clap. Snap, snap, tap, tap. All right, so for Diana and for Big Ship and the great work they are doing, clap, clap, snap, snap, tap. Thank you very much. A round of applause again for yourselves now, for yourselves. So that was the second age of his project that was supported. Now we are on to our last one. And even as we do this last one, I really hope that we are able to see the impact that is achieved herein in these projects, because it's real. You know, it's something that is beneficial to people on the ground. So for our last nature-based project, I would like us to welcome Samuel Keriango, who is an expert in the field of conservation and sustainable development. He is known for his work with nature and people, which is also known as NAPO. He has dedicated his work to bridging the gap between environmental preservation and community empowerment. Through NAPO, Kerianga emphasizes the importance of integrating knowledge and practices in conservation efforts, advocating for holistic approaches that benefit both nature and people. All right, so to change. For Samuel Kerianga, please clap, clap, snap, snap. Tuachie hapo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our facilitator. My name is Samuel Kerianga, and I'm from Marsabit. And I work for nature. I work for nature and people as one. That's NAPO. As you can see, NAPO is a led organization that is really committed to do a lot of restoration in the drylands. All of us know how Marsabit looks like. Ukiambua Marsabit, you just like, that's a dry place. But shockingly, that desert, we have 2 lakes, actually freshwater lakes. So, and also, we also have a forest, national, it's a national park. The other teams that visited there must have seen it. So, okay, without wasting time, because nimeambua time, I just want to go to the kind of work we are doing with Inuka Afrika or the Inuka Fund. Number 1 is a model called Ramat, where we just taught planting trees every time. Hata huko Jangwani, it's really a hard thing. You might plant trees today, but in the next week, due to lack of water, those trees will dry up. So we decided that how we incorporate the traditional knowledge and science that we have by just ensuring that whatever grows naturally is being conserved. So that is how we want to restore the drylands of Marsabit. And through that, the 15 billion trees that you hear the government advocating, we can only achieve in Marsabit through that model. The other one is, so, okay, in Ramat, we mapped out, so in Ramat restoration, mapped out 405 hectares in one of the locations. And in that location, we have 10 villages. In every village, we identified a champion every village, so that at least we are able to achieve whatever we want to do. So we identified 10 active and influential community members as champions to lead the restoration in the landscape. So what we do here, or what we did here, each champion will mobilize 10 community members, and in every mobilized numbers or members of the community, we come out every month to do restoration. One day in a month, you call the community, just like any other planting or tree planting initiative. So every month, the 10 communities will come out, try to manage these trees by pruning, ensuring that they stake, ensuring that those trees are painted so that people don't cut. You know, we are pastoralists. These people are prone to cutting down trees to do fencing for the animals and all that. But I'm telling you, through this initiative or through this approach, we are able to, they has put bylaws to ensure that no acacia tree is being cut. If you happen to use the acacia trees, you will be told on how to do the pruning, do some of the and leave the rest. So that's how we, and of course, those trees that we are being managed or that are being managed have a lot of benefits to the people and also to their livestock. Because of time. So the 10 community members or the 10 champions were taken for an exchange visit to already establish FMR site in Dicket. So maybe most of you will mtashanga FMN tunasimamia nini? Stands for Farmer Managed Natural Regeneration. So this is the community. So the 10 champions would look for 10. Each one of them would look for 10 community members from their own village, and they come out to manage or to restore the degraded land. So you will not miss like 100 people coming out, and out of the 100 we have done for 6 months, and you can see the numbers. 6,000 trees were being managed, and we happen to restore 120 hectares. We also have another initiative. The other one, we were engaging the community, but now again, we are looking at how else can we now engage the other groups. Of course, youths atupendangi ile kitu yenye community wanajitokeza, but now we decided to look for another way to ensure that they are also in this journey of restoration. So we decided to have a conservation cup where we engage 9 teams. We did this before, but with the 16 teams. Through Inuka funding, we now expanded to 19 teams. That is 285 youths who participated in the NCC. NCC stands for Napo Conservation Cup. And in every team, for you to participate in that Napo Conservation Cup, you have to at least adopt a site to do the Ramat model or approach. And then if your area, for example, we have areas that are adjacent to the forest. If you are adjacent to the forest and your team happens to be in Napo Conservation Cup, you'll be able to do some planting of the trees, that is. We'll have tree nursery where Inuka supported to raise at least 5,000 seedlings. And out of the 5,000 seedlings, we have actually planted some of them in those schools and with those with the team players. Beeswax is our NBS. So we bought 120 hives, and we supported the community members. So thank you so much. But maybe something I forgot. Through the Inuka funding, when we got the funding and we headed the initiative called Ramat, a donor or a funder came across and they were interested with the kind of work that we are doing. So for us, we were doing it in one location. But since they were really impressed with the kind of work we were doing, they now expanded. They gave us, I don't know, we have our finance officer here. I don't know how much they got from the donor. So they now expanded to 5 more locations. And through the end of, I said we have a tree nursery, and we raised 5,000 seedlings. After we raised the 5,000 seedlings, another donor came, and they were interested tree planting. And they gave us a target of 50,000 trees to be planted between this raining season and next raining season, which is on April. And they gave us a huge amount of money. We are also hoping that next year, because Napo Conservation Cup is an annual thing, we are hoping that another donor is coming on board, and tumepata tufununu that next year tushapata pesa ya kusimamia hiyo nini. So you see how Inuka has supported us to actually now look for more funding. Sisi hatuongoje tu ati tunasema sasa scale up project. Wacha scale up tupate tukiwa ndani. Asanteni.
Makofi tafadhali. Sasa ni kama pia mimi nitahamia Marsabit. Juu huko kama dona ya funding ya next year ishafika. Sasa mbona mimi nafanya nini huku? Nafanya nini Nairobi? Anyway, are we ready to upload? Ready? Now for this time, it's a bit different. Clap. Let's do the normal one. Clap. Clap. Snap. Tap. So we'll switch it up. When I say clap, you snap. When I say snap, you clap. Nizo mbili tu. Tuko ready? Clap, 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 snap, snap, tap. All right, thank you very much. So now guys, if there's something I relish is hearing people's personal experiences and their impact from their own mouth. It's like when you tell someone of something you've experienced, you know, there's a lot of, how will we put it? There's a lot of validation in it. So once again, I really hope that from the presentations that we've had here, we've been able to see the practical work that's going on in the ground. We've been able to relate, and we are also able to appreciate the efforts that went into these projects. Well, please give yourselves a round of applause. Just in case you're wondering, yes, we are coming closer and closer to the ultimate end of our program. But before then, part of climate action is in artistry, and for us is a mural. And this mural was painted by a very great artist called Denzel. But before Denzel comes here, before Denzel, allow me to welcome just one last person to share her experiences with Inuka Afrika. And this person is Faith Nangila. Faith is an environmental planner and manager. Sorry. Poleni. All right, that's enough, Faith. Thank you. So, as I was saying, Faith Nangila is an environmental planner and manager, dedicated climate change advocate, and passionate environmentalist. With a fervent commitment to community empowerment, Faith champions the belief that communities and young individuals can be catalysts for change rather than victims of circumstances. A round of applause as we welcome, please, Faith Nangila. And as Faith comes here, ask the person next to you, FMNR stands for what? If they remember. FMN. Wakwambie, kama wajui wakuulize.
I'm shy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nangila Wafula is my name. My Christian name is Faith, but I am a Pan-Africanist. And I would have loved to drop Faith, but the bureaucratic process in Kenya is hindering me, but I'm still on the journey. So my presentation is basically what you have seen. That is storytelling without the audio. So I'm the audio, just to share with you the impact of what Inuka has been to us as individuals, minus the organizations. I know you have seen the great projects that each and every one of the groups have been doing and the impact they have had to their communities. So I am here to just break down the impact of that project to each of us as individuals, minus the labels of our organization. And Inuka to me has been an amazing journey. I still insist your colleagues cannot be your friends except if they are from Inuka. Because when we came and we started the first time, I remember when we were launching the project here at the main building there, we were so scared of each other. I really hope you get to see that part. Even my voice has changed. It has really matured over the years. And what? I sound deeper because I'm deep in thoughts. So even my voice must manifest the things that I do. But I remember the first time I met the children of Napo and the children of Big Ship. It was very interesting because I thought I'll see buibuis, but lo and behold, the Mombasa team was full of Kikuyus and Luyas like me. So that was amazing. And the Napo team, when we were going for the site visit in Marshabit, they were not fasting. And I thought they were heretics because I thought they were Muslims. Kumbe, they're all Catholics. Amazing. So it has been an amazing journey because I remember when we started, we all thought we were just coming for a training session. Little did we know we will have moments where we are crying and saying our issues. You know, you think you can be vulnerable. You have not seen us in Marshabit. Men cried, bro, men cried. So it has been an interesting journey to see that we have all been in this environmental space. We have all had the same challenges. And the fact that we were born Africans, the game was already rigged against us. And the fact that we were born Africans in a developing country, the game was further rigged against us. And the rig became worse because we were in a developing, corrupt country. And again, we didn't have many initiatives or projects that are empowering young people. You see, the thing about empowering somebody is that you come to them and you help them, and when you live there, they can still continue on their own. But many initiatives and NGOs that are running initiatives that are called youth-led, they want to keep supporting you. Like somebody thrives on you being unable to proceed on your own. But as you have seen, the groups that have presented Big Ship are going further with their boardwalk. Inuka was a stepping stone. They can still go ahead, and the same applies with Ondiri and Napo. But if this was another initiative, like the many that I know of, these kids, oh sorry, we are the same age. These young people would have had the project ending there. So Inuka has been a family to us. We've had opportunities to grow together and to expand our network and to just be vulnerable with each other. And I find that to be amazing. And you know, this is the best program because even our teachers were learners. You hear you're in a program where the program leads cannot do an interview in front of the camera. You know, you're all starting from scratch. So it's been an opportunity of learning from each other. Now they're telling you Bulimo could not stand for an interview, but this guy is full of jargons. Billy, if we gave Bulimo a microphone right now, we will need dictionaries, yeah? Exactly, and the boldness with it. And Melin could not give a speech smiling, but right now she can smile through the whole conversation and you guys will enjoy it. And then we have Sam. I don't know if you have realized the way he holds the microphone. He does this. Msani way too. And then we have Mea. Mea is a teacher. Kaleche is a good storyteller. You need to verify her stories sometimes, but she's a good storyteller. Yeah, we have Esther and Diane. They're very amazing souls. Yeah, those are the ones I thought they will come with the names like Khadija and Fatuma, but I'm glad we have Esther and Diana. And it's been an amazing journey. We have an Inuka baby. She's not, okay, the baby is not here yet, but you see we have actually tumeinuka. Like tuliinuka na environmentalism na tukaanguka na finance bill, but we have tumeinuka. So I just want to say it has been amazing, and I am glad you guys are here to finish this journey with us. No, to start this journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nangila. A clap for Nangila. Thank you. Wasani wangu turudishe painting. So, well, it's good to see that Inuka had impact not only project-wise, but also on the individuals. And yeah, we would like to showcase a piece of art. And after seeing this, please tell me if you've seen any other piece of art that showcases climate action and climate change other than this, right? And to help me unveil this mural, I would like to call the artist himself. From the much I know him, he's the best artist, coolest guy I know. So please, a round of applause as we welcome Denzel. Please, tafadhali, mpigie makofi saizi kabla haujaona painting. Ukishaona painting hata utampigia makofi zaidi.
Hi guys, my name is Denzel, and I'm a social and environmental artist and also an activist. And I'm honored to be here today to tell a story behind this incredible mural that we created for Inuka event. And I didn't do it alone. I did with another artist that we work with, and come to stage and great people.
Good afternoon. My name is Sandra Teka, and I participated in this mural.
Please, check out your phones. Check out your phones. This is the moment I've all been waiting for. A round of applause. Ooh. So maybe, Denzel, I'll just ask you maybe just to explain the mural a bit.
So I've been passionate about telling stories of social and environmental change. And we came up with this art. Yeah, and I'll take you through it. And in the middle, you can see a fist risen up. This symbolizes unity, strength, and the rise of African communities. So even if we've been faced by challenges, we still stand up for each other. And you can see on Africa in a green and blossoming, this signifies life, growth, and nature that Inuka Afrika is fighting for. On my right, on my right side, you can see an arid and semi-arid area, more so desertic areas. And these areas doesn't support life or farming, but through the use of green energy and solar energy, we can bring these areas to be an innovation of green energy for Africa, and you can stop relying for fossil fuel that mostly cause climate change. On this, the downside, you can see the farmer doing restoration. As you can see, most of the initiative that Inuka is working with, they're doing restoration, and African youth, by being given opportunities and skill, they can be the source of agriculture and the food security of our Africa. On my left side, you can see a fisherman. I'm also, you see, Inuka Afrika has been helping the youth mostly doing restoration in mangrove areas. This shows the traditional way of investing in livelihood of the people of coastal regions. On the downside, this shows marine ecosystem. Mostly you can see companies that are drilling our seabeds, really destroying the life of ecosystem of the marine. And this we should stop by signing the petition that the organizations are fighting for to stop destruction of ecosystem of the marine. And this is actually the mural that we created for this event. Thank you so much. And also, I want to thank Inuka Afrika for giving us this opportunity as youth to showcase our skill. And I'd like Limo and Melin to come and write a word for us on this piece that states their input in restoring our Africa. Melin, Limo. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
A round of applause for Denzel. A round of applause for Denzel and Sandra, please. Better round of applause. Now, as the mural goes out, I would like to kindly invite all of us that are standing behind the tent to please kindly take a seat, because we are coming to the tail end of our program, and we would love to be all of us here. Kindly, let's take a seat. Let's take a seat, please. If you are outside of the tent, please karibia tafadhali. Kindly take a seat. Kindly take a seat. As always, please make sure you're sitting next to someone. Please make sure you're sitting next to someone. Make sure you're sitting next to someone, please. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, as we come close to the end, this journey was also had a few people that may not have been part of the Inuka team or part of the projects, but played a key role in ensuring that this was a success. So I'd like to hear a few remarks from 3 or 4 people. And the first one I would like to introduce is Wendy Apondi from Floka. A round of applause, please, as Wendy comes up.
Thank you. My name is Wendy Apondi. Hi. And I don't have a presentation, so I'll just tell you briefly. I am an environmentalist, climate change officer, a program assistant, and the FLOCA program. So the FLOCA program is a program that is being implemented by the National Treasury at the Climate Finance and Green Economy Unit. So basically the program is a community-led project, and the main delivery objective of the project is to build resilience and strengthen the capacity of the county governments and the national government to be able to just adapt to the climate shocks and the climate risks. So basically, the project is being funded by different international donors. That is the World Bank, Danida, SIDA, KFW, among other donors. So basically, under the World Bank, the project is a performance for results project. So the grants are given twice. There are 2 grants. There's an institutional support grant and there's a resilience grant. So the institutional support grant supports the counties to be able to prepare for the resilience grant, where communities come up. They come up with climate resilient actions, which are basically community-led actions, which will be able to help them adapt to climate change. So basically, it is also an adaptation project, which also mirrors the NCCAP, the National Climate Action Plan, and the NDC. So majorly, it's just about adaptation, and the grants are given, they're given according to how each and every community or each and every county performs. So the projects are in, at the moment, 45 counties, excluding Nairobi and Mombasa. So as per the last financial year, the highest receiving community or county was Turkana, where they received a total of about 300 million, if I'm not wrong. So basically, each and every county has a ward county planning committee, which is locally led. The youth and the women, the vulnerable, each and every community member is a part of the committee member, where they come up and decide and come up with climate actions that they'd like to undertake, so that they help in the resilience aspect. So basically, at the moment, we are in the second phase of giving out or dispersing the grant, the second grant, where the communities do the investment project or they implement. Like, for example, last week we were in Vihiga. We were scattered all over the country, but I personally, I was in Vihiga and other counties, the LREB region, where we saw the projects that were being implemented by the communities. Basically, there are three sectors that are being prioritized, that is energy, water, and environment. Considering the LREB region is a beneficiary of KFW, so it majors on agriculture. And these projects have to be designed in a way that they are sustainable and ensure that there is value addition. For example, if there is a tree nursery establishment, the community or a specific group will come up and decide to put up or establish a tree nursery where they'll be given the funds to construct the tree nursery, come up, bring the seedlings, and then the project is given to the group. They ensure the growing of the trees and the seedlings, and then so perhaps if there's a tree planting day or something like that, then now the county government of that specific area has to go back to the community, purchase the seedlings in that specific ward, basically ensuring that there's the value added addition and also promote income support to the communities. So yeah, since I didn't have a presentation, I hope I haven't left anything out. Yes, thank you.
Let's give her a clap. A snap. Class. Let's catch up. Let's give her a clap. A snap. A tap. All right, thank you. Thank you very, very much, Wendy. The next person I would like to call for some short remarks is called Lunzalo. You had his praises here. He's from the Kenya Youth Biodiversity Network. Karibu sana Lunzalo. Please welcome him with a clap.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry that I have to speak when you seem very tired. I'll keep my remarks very short. As I've been introduced, my name is Kevin Lunzalo. I had the pleasure of being a trainer of this whole cohort. And that also means I have seen the whole journey. You know? When Kaluki approached me to train this group, at first I was confused on how to train them because, you see, nature-based solutions are a daily thing here in Africa. People, use nature to derive food. We use nature to educate our kids. We use nature in our day-to-day endeavors. So what's new? What was new there then to train these people on? But then when he told me that this is a group of, or groups of young people who are dedicated to, using this concept to advance not just the well-being of their communities, but themselves, I said, let's give it a try. And this was a pilot. And that is why I'm saying that today we are, celebrating, we are commencing. When I talked to Bulim, I said, let this be a commencement and not a celebration per se. So I thank you all for this opportunity. I hope that through this commencement, we can learn the virtues and the standards of IUCN that were set for nature-based solutions and go back to the very definition of what nature-based solutions are. The nature-based solutions are not hearsays, they're not rumors, they are actions. And today we have seen actions, presentations after presentations talking about what young people are doing, acting on to advance the concept of nature-based solutions. And I hope that for the groups that you have presented here, that you'll find the resources that are needed to advance what you're doing at the grassroots level. So thank you very much. I'll be seeing you around. For those who are attending the COPs, all the best with that. And I hope you get to present all this good job that you're doing at the COPs, at the big stages, so that you get more exposure, more finances, more resources, but also you get more capacity, because we still need that capacity moving forward. I would like to give a short shout out to Bosco here, my senior. Bosco, please stand up. He's the lead of Big Ship. I don't know if you'll get a chance to speak, but I applaud you for the good job that you're doing at the coast. Sam has already spoken, but there is a madam from Ondiri who has been all about behind the scenes. Please meet you today, but I would like to shout, Ruth, it's you. So if you heard about Ondiri, there is that madam who has been, holding the young people's hands all through the project, and we celebrate people like you that make such projects a huge success. So thank you, everyone, and see you around.
Thank you very much, Lunzalu. All right, class, are we ready for another type of clapping? That's just our formula, right? As you head close to the finish. So, you have to be alert for this one, right? You only clap if my hands cross. We have the instruction. Only clap if my hands. Are you ready? Assume clap position. You're not ready. Ready? Come on. Ready? Ready? Come on, guys. Anyway, because of time, we'll do it again. The last person for remarks I would like to welcome on stage, not last person, second last person on stage is someone that calls this place home. Someone that has been here with Inuka as they used Ubunifu Hub for their offices. And this person is called Barbara Kangwana. She is a youth lead at Planet One, Ubunifu Hub. She is an avid environmentalist. And as the founder of Last Shade Initiative, she works with local communities to increase awareness on climate change and environmental conservation. Please, a round of applause for Barbara.
Thank you so much. I don't remember my bio being that long. Well, karibuni sana. My name is Barbara Kangwana, and I am a youth team lead, specifically digital, here at Ubunifu Hub. Karibuni sana, feel at home. I won't go into too much details, but I hope I'll give you just enough information because I do not have a presentation. So, Ubunifu Hub is one of 6 maker spaces that exist in East and Central Europe and Africa. In Africa, we have 3 hubs. In Europe, we have 3 hubs. We have hubs in Kenya, Nairobi, South Africa, Cameroon, Hungary, Sweden, and Armenia. And Planet One is a collaborative project between Greenpeace and Free Society. Those are 2 organizations. And what we do is we empower young people to work on environmental solutions. So we do it by having these hubs, which are maker spaces. So in short, you have your idea, and you probably don't know how you're going to go about it. So you visit one of our hubs, and then we see how we can support the work that you're doing by making that idea into action. So our offers are, first of all, we have a bookable space. So you can come book our space if you have events. If you're an organization, you want to have meetings or events like this event, you can book our space. We also have our latest, most inviting offer, which is a podcast. We have a podcast studio. So you have conversations going and you have your own podcast, but you do not have a space to do that. We offer one. We have a learning series around our 4 pillars, which are climate justice, advocacy, youth empowerment and engagement, and innovation. It's a 6 weeks learning program. After that, there's a youth fund. So you do your proposal based on an issue that's in your community that you'd want to solve. Then we fund you based on what you want. Yeah, those are just one of our few offers. We have global events and connections, and we've taken some of our youth to visit some of our hubs. So that is basically why we exist. We exist for young people, to empower young people in their own way. We do not limit what you would want to do as a young person. Say, for example, you'd see there are groups here that work on agriculture, that work on urban farming, art, like you name it, for as long as it's a solution that tackles any of the problems in your community. We are here for you. There's Frequency Band here who are dealing completely with music, and we're also ready to support them in whichever way. So, welcome. Yeah. So, everyone who's here, stakeholders and youth groups, organizations that you might need support, you might also reach out to us. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Ubunifu Hub. So you can reach out to us via our social media channels, or you can also just visit us and, ask for whatever you might need. So that is about it. I also have a team of, how many other people? 5 other young people like me. They are around, so you will meet them as time goes by. Thank you very much. Karibuni.
Thank you very much, Barbara. Thank you very much. Right, ready? Ready? Clap only on my hands. If you're sitting next to someone who's slacking on this activity, how can you trust them? How? All right, so ready? Some people got wise. Thank you. So for our last person for remarks, this is someone who represents the people that I would say got the best endorsement ever. Right? So I would like us to kindly welcome Eric Siriru, who is the visionary behind NV Plus Group. Karibu sana.
Hi everyone. Jota mkitaka kunipigia makofi nilipatiwa kazi. How are you? You doing good? I promise you I'll be at least I'm the last person. This is supposed to be a plenary that was supposed to run for 45 minutes because we intended to premiere the final Inuka movie, rather video. Let us not call it a movie because when we envisioned the last video, we thought we were only going to do like 4 videos for the entire project. But we ended up doing more than we intended to premiere at the inception. That was because of a few factors in between there. My name is Eric Karanja Siriru. And I'm just that person. Sina vitu mingi nafanyaka. But I'm a continuing student of visual arts at Princeton University in New Jersey. And I'll tell you why. No, nacheka juu ya mtu anaitwa Njema hapa. But so quickly, Envy, I'm not going to dive what Envy Plus does because we are a consortium of companies. But for us to realize what we've achieved through Inuka, as far as the films are concerned, it has been I'm a strong believer of synergies. And were it not for collaborations, we wouldn't be here celebrating this. So when we got the contract to do this, we brought together minds from different companies to come and run different roles. So I want to acknowledge a few people. And in absentia, watu wangapi tulikuwa kwa project Miss Chris Kimani? Oh, Chris Media. Let us appreciate Chris. Chris, when you get to see this video, take these flowers. I think he's done the donkey work for this project. He's been the one doing all the post-production briefing. And on that note, so Chris was serving with us as the creative director. And after Chris, we had Nganga Gasheru. So Chris runs an outfit called Chris Media and Prince Networks. After that, we had Nganga Gasheru, who was a drone pilot. And Nganga Gasheru runs an outfit called Vivacious Images and Executives. Nganga ako pale nyuma ndiye anatufanyia live stream, tunaweza mpigia makofi. Then we had a director of photography from Blazing Production, Joseph Roy. Tupigie Joseph makofi. And we had a couple of editors, and we have one of them in the house from Kazi Njema Production. Njema, his name is Njema, and his outfit is called Kazi Njema Production. So thank you so much, guys. It's been an honor, and for every participant, everyone who was part of what you were making, you guys gave a good and well ride. I can confidently say here that Bulimo Saizi is a producer. Amebakisha tu kidogo, kupolishiwa tu kidogo. Because Bulimo has done the chunk of the work as well in post-production. We've sat in meetings that were intended to last 30 minutes and lasted to hours as we're trying to get ni mimi, si nyinyi. Makosa ni yangu. Poleni sana. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to play a video And it is not the final video yet. We cut a part of the video that we intend to give out in a couple of weeks as the final video. And are you ready? No, I'm asking the media people. No, okay, are you guys ready? Sitaki kuihype because it's still a work in progress. So I believe after me, MC mimi nimemaliza kazi yangu. After me, we're going to watch a little bit of the video, and towards the end of the video, I believe the MC will give us instructions. But tumefikia mahali pa chakula, na mimi napenda chakula. So thank you so much, guys. We appreciate.
Makofi tafadhali. Let's give a round of applause to Eric. Right, we're ready for the video.
He's many things. He's an African youth. He's a climate advocate. He's a son of the African soil, a go-getter, and nature-based solutions practitioner. I've also had the privilege of, being around my grandfather from my mom's side, and this man loved to grow trees a lot. And my contribution to his tree planting was just playing in the holes that he dug. And to my surprise, there was a forest. That forest was as a result of my contribution to his tree planting. From that point on, I just wanted to do an environmental degree, and that explains why I chose 4 degree courses at Nairobi. I joined Youth for Nature in 2019. In my capacity, I was a regional coordinator for Africa. And so in 2020, I thought an impact on the ground project made sense for Africa. I started this idea with Marina, Youth for Nature founder. In the long run, I proposed Inuka, and it sounded very well.
The first time I heard about Inuka, I was really excited because of how deep the impact of this project is.
The regional director, Luki Paul, was really talking to us a lot about the idea of restoration and groundworks, about nature-based solutions on the ground.
Up until then, we mostly did digital and remote work around knowledge sharing and storytelling, except for when we went to international events. So it was actually quite exciting and promising to hear what we're actually going to be doing and supporting nature-based solutions on the ground.
The purpose was to train young people across different landscapes here in Kenya who are working on different thematic areas. And then there will be a scale-up of those projects across Africa. And he requested me if I could be one of the trainers. It was a wait-and-see kind of scenario.
I'm glad that the project took off, and we've some milestones that I know will outlive most of us. We, in 2020, sent the first proposal to DEFRA, and they had actually promised to give us some serious money to support our program.
We did a joint proposal that COVID came and everything went silent.
And of course, we understand because donor priorities in a pandemic, you had to put money where it was needed most. So I had to reorganize and really rethink the strategy, the plan, and even the vision, the goals of this project, and the timelines on the same.
2021, 2022. Again, that conversation came that the joint proposal that we developed needed to be refined and fine-tuned because of a possible funding.
I remember we were on this funder meeting. The donor was not picking interest, and then I said, actually, we also have a particular on-ground project that we are proposing. I saw the funder just lighten up. From that point, I just built on that, and I remember Marina just texting me and telling me, you have to keep talking, and so that is how then Inuka gets the funding. And initially, I was just supposed to be the project director. Inuka ended up having 2 co-coordinators. One is male, one is female.
Inuka found me when I was just doing my program at the Yale School of the Environment, and it aligned seamlessly with the work that we were doing at that program. It was my desire to be part of the change that we so much envisioned, and that is what led to me developing an interest and applying for the position.
I was a bit hesitant to apply. This is a challenge, moving from one city to another, meeting new people, and now diving deep into environmentalism. Like, it is here. I've been doing it partially, but now it's like the whole pot was now open for me. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Tuinuke sasa, tuinuke sasa, tuinuke tuinuke sasa, tuinuke sasa, tuinuke
And so it's witnessing that launch and being able to launch Inuka for me was, and it still remains, my biggest highs, and I'm glad that that moment happened.
Hii miti yote iliyokuwepo na sahihi hapo zamani kulikuwa na uharibifu sana wa mikoko, ila kwa sasa hivi tumejua umuhimu wa mkoko ni nini, so tukaona ni muhimu tuulinde na tuuregeshe ule uliokuwa umekatwa na ile ambayo ilitekwa na mvua ya El Nino.
Basi kuona kwamba ni vyema ya kwamba tuweze kuungana na kujishirikisha hasa kwa ajili ya kurudisha mazingira hii ya mkoko.
These are different species, the ones that tunafanya restoration.
As much as we had our own plans, the first stone to be laid has been through Inuka.
We came up with another way of a touristic attraction of constructing a boardwalk. We envisioned it that it will create job opportunities to our youth and also increase knowledge on issues to do with the conservation of our environment.
The other one is beekeeping, where we engage the communities directly. We train them on how they can actually harness the potential of beekeeping, and then after the harvesting of honey, we now try to create a local market where we bridge the gap between the community, the production, and the market.
We have conducted community barazas. We have engaged the elder women and men. The young people were able to appreciate some of the old knowledge that is in the old people, and the young people would share their innovative and creative ideas. And so far so good. We've been able to facilitate most of the activities, if not all.
Since we began the organization, we have done a number of activities to restore the areas. Number one, we began with a tree nursery where we supported the schools.
With Ramat, which is mainly focusing on farmer-managed regeneration, we are working with the community. We integrated our beekeeping project into Inuka. Inuka is the best thing that has ever happened to us as an organization because it's the first funded successful activity that we have had to engage. And right now we are paying back for what happened like 10 years ago. That's how you have the floods and everything.
The first thing they did was to select a group of youth from our membership who are trained, and a lot of capacity building took place. And that's how the idea of the botanic garden was implemented.
Our hope is to establish at least 20 of them within by the end of 2026, and we have begun. We are sure with the micro grant we can be able to do too.
Today, when you go to the botanic garden, you're going to find that we have very rare species of trees, species that probably you will see them once in your lifetime.
We got involved with Ondiri about 18 months ago,
and some friends of mine in England started supporting them, and we're very much hoping that within 25 years that Ndiri, the Botanic Garden in Ndiri, will look like Brackenhurst.
I think our success shall be measured by what you call the biodiversity indicators. So once we establish a successful tree cover, then that is one of the indicators that we shall have.
There are instances that I feel things could have been done better. We started with 5 impact groups, but in the long run, we ended up working with just about 3. For me, it was already a letdown because losing one of the project teams because of lack of evidence of existing restoration work for me was a low moment.
We had to pause the project momentarily to sort of tighten our safeguarding policies to ensure we provide a conducive environment for young people to safely coexist among themselves. The start of that process was a pain point, but then we were able to crack that code.
You see young people that are ready to work, they're ready to serve, but they cannot. Why? Because the project is limiting. We cannot hire everyone, you know? So to me, that's a low moment. I mean, I had to resign midway to pursue other things, but I had to, you know, leave it or pass it to the coordinators to continue it to its finality.
There was a set of emotions. Particularly, it was gloomy, I think, to begin with. But I think Kaluki also was very strategic in his exit. He prepared us, I think, a month or 2 in advance. And the fact that we have been able to collectively implement until this point, for us, it was a moment of growth and moment of self-belief and confidence that we are the leaders that we think we are.
Most funding are very specific, but in some situations, if it is something that can be increased or being able to be reviewed. For example, in our case, the budget items we had allocated, for example, for our boardwalk, we undercosted.
We get the money in our dollar account, and then we try to change it into Kenyan shillings, and we lose a lot of currency there in between.
The challenge that I would want to highlight was the issue of special user license that made us to stop at a point, the Mangrove Resource Center processes and even the boardwalk. So we stopped at 30 when we were supposed to arrive at 80 meters or 100 meters.
We have to follow up more. We have to put more energy on restoration works, because you have to tell someone from zero why restoration, why plant a tree, why manage this tree.
But the bottom line is they made us stronger, and we're where we are now. Has Inuka been impactful? Yes.
Na sasa hata ukitembea huko mahali utashangaa, manake mikoko imekuwa mikubwa. Tunapumua hewa safi sahi, na pia ndani ya hiyo mikoko bado kuna samaki watu wanapata, yani katika uvuvi.
Hawa kamba wameongezeka, hawa kawa wameongezeka kwa sababu wanapata mahali pa kujificha, ya kwamba waweze kuzana vizuri. Hata samaki naona wanazaa vizuri sasa.
Ule mkoko anajitolea mimi nijitolea kuulinda, sababu kwamba unipatia kazi yangu ama unipatia ile biashara yangu nilikuwa nayo pale kwenye mikoko ya kuwekeza, ya kuweka nyuki.
We've trained the communities on how they can actually utilize the little space they have. So far, we've installed some nurseries within the shed net, and where we intend to capacity build at least 10 groups. We'll be issuing the seedlings, and then they will now be practicing the agricultural activity within their homesteads.
We have been able to do some trainings apart from the capacity building sessions in order for them, to prepare them for the tourism activities that are going to come as a benefit for this work.
As time goes by, we also decided to engage our youths, and we introduced something to the Napo Conservation Cup.
So what it's been able to do is to support the engagement of the 400 plus youth to be able to restore their landscape in a way that is exciting,
Some are doing restoration by tree planting, those that have access to water, And those that don't have access to water are doing restoration by farmer-managed regeneration.
Holiday tulikuwa busy sana, and then hata uwezi ukaona time venye inaenda, because sometimes asubuhi tunapata tumeenda kupanda miti, tunasaidiana, after lunch tunakula tu, alafu unapata tumetokea tizi. Over the weekend fixed us, ilienda tu vizuri na appreciate.
I've come to watch the game because I actually support what Napo is doing. This football brings us together, and also we plant trees. It encourages the youth to plant trees.
I would recommend if it is maybe done twice in a year, that will lead to planting of more and more trees.
This project has come to empower us a lot from NAPO, and we really appreciate the support that you have given us, which is also making the environment to become more friendly and even more relaxing.
Ondiri Wetland has been more of an education center where people come to learn.
Through the microgrant, we've been able to set up a Wi-Fi connection for the community. We established a tuck shop through the funding, a tuck shop that has been able to sustain a few people that have been. So we saw the best way to manage the trees is to have vegetables planted on our garden. So we've planted 6 different species of vegetables that we are going to sell. Even when the pilot project comes to an end, we have a sustainable way of continuing to manage the organization.
The people who are working at the Botanic Garden are people who live around, that is one. And 2, we don't have those fights with the community. They have embraced the project. The community has been able to learn that first, we need trees. And it's not about planting trees. It's about I plant, I nurture, and sustainability. Like I have to make sure that this tree gets to a point that now it's okay. Even if I leave, the tree is fine.
Inuka has been impacting and a very inspiring journey to me as a person. It created an opportunity and an avenue to learn and share.
I know that social media is just for slaying, posting my photos and all, but now I know that I can impact young people on environmental issues and tell stories to the world on the theme and bring more people on board.
Learning the aspect of storytelling, especially using NBS in agriculture, and that is something that we are doing and implementing at our botanical garden. And of course, being able to share the stories when we are talking to the community has been very, very important for me.
Right now, I'm so confident enough that I can be in the sittings where people are discussing on policy regarding environmental conservation.
Inuka has really built my communication skill. It has really built me on nature-based solution that we were not practicing before.
I was a bit shy in expressing myself in front of people. Right now, it's a different story.
It has hugely built my knowledge base, my capacity, my thinking when I come to design projects within our landscapes.
To be capacity built, to understand even better, to align my goals, my objectives, what I desire, not just for myself, but for my community as well. All these have been sharpened and refocused through Inuka project.
I was very shy. I couldn't even stand before 2 or more people. But now, thanks to Inuka, I can stand on a crowd and talk to people. Inuka has given me that exposure. I'm forever grateful to that.
These people are so knowledgeable about what they do, but they rely on me to bring that out. So it forced me to dig deep, know about NBS. The kind of knowledge that I have gotten from Inuka has been tremendous.
We've learned so much from Inuka, and now I think we can take what we've learned over this Inuka program and also with all the policy work that we have done, and then we can look at nature-based solutions in a more holistic manner.
I think I've seen some really incredible deep reflections from the Inuka team as they've been working through their monitoring and evaluation and learning. And I think that this is going to lead us to really resilient and long-term sustainable work.
And I'm really looking forward to see what happens, both for in us as an organization and youth for nature, but also for all the things we supported in Inuka, what they might do, what they might bring to other communities, to other projects they might partner with. Yeah, it's really exciting.
We want to support even groups, and how we do that will leverage more on the experience that we provided to the few youth groups that we started with. I think that is the future that Inuka wants to find itself in.
So it's my hope that Inuka skills beyond Kenya, beyond Africa, and that we manage to secure, or the project manages to speak to the global funding mechanism for projects on landscape restoration valley, on climate action, nature-based solutions, and livelihoods enhancement. And that way, then Inuka will live its goal. It's possible to change the world and transform it in ways that we never thought possible when we believe in ourselves. So just believe in yourself. You're only as serious as you make the world see you. I've lived to see that as a testament to my own life. You do not see the challenge is the obstacle. See the opportunity that lies in that challenge. Networks are very important. I've lived to see the evidence of networks that have developed. Inuka is made possible by the funders, the media partners, the beneficiary youth groups that are actually doing amazing works on the ground. But one last thing is, do not give up in life. So all the best, go out there, do your work, implement the solutions, and let your name count. For the African youth, you can do it. It's your time to shine. We can restore our landscapes, we can transform our communities, and we can leave a legacy that the future will remember us for, and will be proud to say that we came, we lived, and we brought about the desired change in our world today for the Africa that we want.
Come on, guys. A better round of applause, please. A better round of applause, please. Envy wapewe kazi tena ama wasipewe? Wapewe, sio? Walishapewa hata tuseme nini. Anyway, thank you very much, Eric, to you and your team. I remember the first time watching the videos on YouTube, something I also realized was, hey, okay, the production here is serious. And you can tell from the storytelling, even other videos on Inuka's YouTube, I definitely encourage you to go and check them out. You'll be very impressed. You'll be able to understand the story as it was. So thank you very much to Eric and the team, and yeah, and to everyone else. So for the people standing at the back, hi my people. It's either you're here or, so please, we would like to finish with you. Kindly come yonder. Come closer, come closer. I only have one last person to invite. Then after that person, one last homegoing activity for you guys, because I would like you to go in high spirits, and then we shall be done. But not necessarily fully done. We still have frequency friends entertaining us here. No one is rushing you home, so you can just stick around for some music and some networking. But again, I'll ask, if you are behind the tent, please join us. Please join us. Join the engagement. Right. So one last time, ask the person next to you, how are you feeling? How are you feeling right now? Make sure they tell you how they feel. Ask them, how are you feeling? Ask them, how are you feeling? All right. So we started with a few opening remarks that highlighted what Inuka Afrika is about. Hey, Metosha, just how you are doing. Why are you asking what you are doing after this? The question was how you're doing, not what are you doing after this. Let's keep calm. Anyway, we started with just starting to learn what Inuka Afrika is about. We proceeded to seeing what the vision was. Then we got a glimpse into the actual stories, where we listened to now the nature-based solution projects. And now we come to close to the end of our program. So the person I would like to invite will just help us with closing this engagement well. He shall be able to, I shall not believe what he'll say. So I would like us to welcome Peter Bulimo. As you've heard, he's one of the coordinators for Inuka. He is an environmentalist working at the Nature Climate Justice Nexus. He holds a bachelor's degree in environmental science and a postgraduate certificate in tropical forest landscape management from Yale ELTI program. As a global ambassador for Youth for Nature, he co-leads the Inuka project in Kenya and is pursuing climate financing through Yango, Nyango. In full, it's YOUNGO, Climate Finance Academy. Its focus is on promoting youth leadership and scaling NBS. A round of applause as we welcome Peter Bulimo, please.
You know, when you speak after everyone else has spoken, it's quite a challenge to really bring out something unique, something people have not seen. And so I'm not going to belabor on anything that has been said here, but just to use this opportunity to thank you. But before we do that, I think there is one particular person that we were not able to bring on stage. And so I just want to use this opportunity to invite Caleb. Caleb? Wait, relax. Caleb. 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 As Caleb comes, is this thing working?
Check one, two. Check 1, 2. Yeah.
So we have come to the end of our very long engagement. I'm the only person standing between you and food right now. So I'd kindly by force, ask for 3 minutes to have one engagement. If I talk and you talk, you confuse my line of thoughts. I'm usually not happy as you see me in the photo, so uni PR. So you guys are amazing. When we were designing this event and sending out invitation, I think half of the people are here, if not more. We had not had one-to-one interaction, and we were just sending emails to people that we think would make this day a success. And behold, most, if not all of them, showed up. So maybe you can get a round of applause for everyone that is here today. I think we have seen people do a lot of amazing work around restoration, around climate action, tree planting and whatnot. But it really takes a visionary to design a project that encompasses all that, but also includes a component on livelihood. I think you heard Kaluki speak very well, and he mentioned he would easily have implemented this project for just himself and one more perhaps. But he was able to create an opportunity for 6 more people to come and benefit from the project directly. On top of that, the project was also able to create an opportunity to contract not 1, not 2, almost 4 media companies working at different levels to make this a success. I think let us give a round of applause for Kaluki for the amazing work that he did. If you're an environmentalist and you work in the space of restoration, tree planting is easy. You can go and plant a tree in a school or somewhere. But if you want to implement actual restoration work in the scale that Inuka was happening, you definitely need an office space. You guys can bear witness that hiring an office space is not an easy task. The cost of furnishing the office and running rent is sufficient to run your project. It's sufficient to run another project. But here comes an idea from Greenpeace and Faisal Ubunifu Hub, where the only thing you need to do is avail yourself. They'll provide you the space, they'll provide you the support, the internet, and on top of that, you will be able to get tea and bread. Some round of applause for Ubunifu. Again, we were not able to do this alone. There were partners that have been supporting us all through along the way. We had a trip to Zambia. It was not supported by Youth for Nature. It was not supported by the beneficiaries. an external partner that saw the work that you were doing and thought it would be important that we go out there and talk to other people, other stakeholders, the significant work that we're doing on the ground, and explore possibilities for synergy and co-creation and ensure that the project scales to other parts of Africa. I just want us to get, again, some round of applause. GIZ Kenya, who are also represented. And we have had so many partners. We have had the Ubunifu Hub, as we've said. We have had Envy Concept. But finally, Caleb is here. Caleb, I'm not going to introduce anything that you do. You're going to do it yourself. So gather your courage and walk forward. A round of applause for Caleb as he comes in.
Hi guys. Okay, I'm Caleb Mbuvi. So I'm used to being behind the scenes. So this is an ambush, but basically what I do, I help brands tell their stories online. So I specialize in digital content creation through video and content through flyers, post, everything about digital. So yes, if you need someone to help you tell your story on digital platforms, I'm that guy. Thank you.
Better round of applause for Caleb. If you guys have realized, we call this a celebration. But at the end of the day, this has not been a celebration. It has really been an opportunity for us to connect and learn more about what we do. And most importantly, see whether we can work together to bring more change moving forward. I hope each and every person here has been able to meet a new person. I hope you've taken some contact. I hope you've asked someone what they're doing after this. I hope you're not taking someone home. Yeah, but I think the spirit of Inuka has always been that of co-creation, has always been that of creating opportunities. You've seen we have had the mural here. You've seen an amazing band here. You have seen different people showcasing different talents. It's not always a given. It is easy to do a project of all these things. But how do we create an opportunity to see a fellow youth grow? And so the only word of encouragement that I'll give each and every of us as we are walking out of this place and also thinking about the broader picture is how do we create opportunities and environments to see each and every one of us grow? Because when your friend grows, you also grow. I want to thank you all for making the time, for being resilient, for staying here throughout 7 hours of endless speeches, and finally making it to the end of the much anticipated Inuka celebration. I thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your evening.
This is the last, okay, not last, so maybe the last clap. So please, we'll have to mix all of them. We'll start with a round of applause. So a round of applause for Peter Blue, please. Thank you for the round of applause. Very good. Now there's people like you who I need to applaud. You for being here, you for making the time, you for being worthy of being here. You know, that's not even something simple to joke about. So I would like to thank you in the most special way for your attendance, for your participation. You've been such a good audience. Thank you very much. So a clap for you, clap, snap, top, clap, snap, top. Now for me. Now for me. Well, I have been your facilitator or MC for the day. My name is Emmanuel Misiati. And I say that space, time, and people are my 3 favorite things. So you give me space, you give me time, you give me people. Okay, and an agenda. Because if you don't give me an agenda, I'll make it up myself. And money. Thank you, Peter. But yes, space, time, and people. So that you engaged me, to me, that's the most important thing. You helped me then fulfill my mandate. So thank you very much. And because of that, I shall leave you with a gift. So stand up. Stand up, please. Stand up, please. So after this very brief thing that I shall do with us, I will kindly request us to just walk back there, take a few photos where we have the banner. We shall also take a group photo as directed by our photographers. So that's what we shall do. But for now, I would like you to just take a glance across the room. Just across, right? Now, walk around and just find someone and be side to side with them. I'll tell you what you're going to tell them. Just anyone. You don't have to know them. Just look around and be like, okay, it's you. Just do it. Please, someone different. Hapa hivi mnajuana, please. Nataka tutembe. Just walk. Thank you. Just walk. Someone and stand side by side to them. Aya. Thank you. I see we are all paired up. Now. Aya. Hata huko nje mnaweza pair up. Hata huko nje mnaweza pair up. So, atujanza, guys, atujanza. So, in all of 30 seconds, ask that person from everything that you've had today, from everything that you've seen today, like, what are you inspired to do? Like, what has being here and hearing the impact done for you? You know, like, yeah, that's the question. What has that done for you? Being here, umesikiza impact stories, very good stories. What has that done for you? Ten seconds left. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Time is up. Find the second last person. Find one other person. Find one other person different. Let's hurry up. One different person. One other person, please. Let's hurry up. One other person, please. Aight. Hey, I hope you've changed. I hope you've switched up, please. Someone different. Time is up. Kama haujamaliza mtamalizia baadaye. If you're not done, you'll finish up later. We don't have a lot of time. We're losing light, so please. Aya. Shh. Guys, the question. Shh. Hey. Hey, Heno. Shh. Hey, there. Friends over here. Hi. Shh. Silence for the next question. Aya. We have come to the end of a very, very, very wonderful session. I would like you, this is our last prompt. I would like you to ask that other person. I always love finishing with this. Ask them, what is something, it's in two parts, so please don't. What is something that you are grateful for today? That's one. Wait. What is something you're grateful for today? That's what you're asking them. The last thing that you shall do is, I give you one wish to spend it on the path. So spend it on them. Like, I wish you something. Tumeelewana? Yeah, so that's our last prompt. 30 seconds. All right, all right. If you're done, please, you can wish them goodbye and wish them a good weekend. Thank you very much for being part of this engagement. Please, if you have conferences, if you have other engagements, look for me. I'm your guy. I not only facilitate, I can also curate for you. So thank you. Thank you very much. Mnaweza peleka story hapo nje sasa ndio tupigwe picha. Kimaliza picha, let us remember that Frequency friends are here to entertain us. Personally, I shall be here to dance hapa mbele ya stage. I welcome you to join me because it's going to be such a good time. Otherwise, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your participation. And I wish you well. I wish you very well. Let's not forget, you guys, just the photo, the group photo, please. Aya, Bulimo. Aya, please, go to Bulimo for the photo. Go to Bulimo for the photo. Go where Bulimo is. I can see friends of Ondiri have gotten to where we are taking the photo. Very, very, very good. I see Robert, wonderful. Yeah, we are going to take a group photo. We are ready for our group photo. Let's make way. Let's make way for our group photo. Make sure you're part of the photograph. We would like to count you.